If you have spent any time near the glitch YouTube community, you've probably heard of these creators, Dire Duck and Yagsterr. Now, what's my problem with them? Well, the easiest way to say it is, one has no backbone and would rather say it's the other people's fault and the other person's Dire. Because Dire is a pretty shady creator and seems to have messed up things with quite a lot of people. One of them being Tag, well, let's just let Tag say what his experience with Dire was. Yeah, there is a whole video on that. Because as it turns out, not only does Dire not really care about the stuff he talks about, which becomes pretty obvious when you take a look at how he talks about a new glitch show dropping and having to rush out a video to get views. Great mindset. Really shows how much you care, Dire. Bravo. But he also really doesn't seem to treat other creators that well. And the thing is, Tag just told us what Dire did to him. The more shocking thing was when a lot of other creators around the glitch sphere started sharing their experiences in the comments of Tag's video. So let's take a look at a few of them to get a bigger picture of what's going on. Comment 1. Cosmo xClouds. If we take a look at Cosmo's comment, and I do hope calling you Cosmo is okay, we can already see a pattern emerging, which let's just lay it out like this. Cosmo mentions the following things: being manipulated and being told that you are the problem, feeling guilty for things they were gaslit into thinking they were responsible for, being traumatized by how they got treated by Yagsterr, who, well, is, if I'm being honest, kind of Dire's lapdog, being cut off from people because Yagsterr and Dire managed to turn him against them, making Cosmo do all of the work for a project they collabed on, which, if I'm reading it correctly, was a collab with Yagsterr, being spied on by a bunch of Yagsterr's friends, and even more. But hey, I don't think we need to talk about every single thing. I'm just gonna put them here, and we will mark things that match with the experience of other creators. Doing it that way should help us have a pretty good knowledge of how Dire and Yagsterr behave around the community, and should help us with our argument of them being a bad influence, which, well, shouldn't be leading such a community. Comment 2. Why not Surmi? Alright, the second person that spoke up in the comments was Surmi, and yeah, I'd say pretty weird how Cosmo wasn't the only one getting weird vibes from Dire, because let's just look at what they said. Dire and Yagsterr both had a demeaning undertone when they were working for them. They felt like they were only used as a name and not a person when they did voice acting for them. They made them feel like they were only the name on the brand, nothing more, which, yeah, is, like they mentioned later in the comment, objectifying and terrifying. And they didn't really feel all that comfortable around Dire and Yagsterr. Look, we are only 2 comments in, but it should already be getting a lot more obvious to how they behave, right? Let's just see what matches. Knowing that, let's move on to comment number 3. Comment 3. Just some Funny. If I gotta be honest, Funny's comment was the one that was the most interesting to me. And that's because Funny actually met Dire in real life before, which he also mentions in his comment. Because Funny was one of the few Murder Jones YouTubers that met each other at Level Up. So let's take a look at his comment. During the planning stages for this meetup, Dire acted condescending towards Funny because he didn't know why Funny would want to be there if he wasn't working on a fan project. Because of that, Funny felt like he was being judged by Dire for going on this trip. During his stay at Level Up, Funny felt uncomfortable around Dire for the previously stated reasons. Yeah, if I gotta be honest, this is looking rather bad for Dire and an extension for Yagsterr. Both have been acting in a pretty unprofessional way and are currently rather waiting until Tag's video dies down and they can fully sweep this under the rug. Now, I know how that sounds pretty harsh, but yeah, that's just how they decided to deal with this. Well, and they got some of the people that work for them to comment under Tag's video and say it isn't true and that the way Tag presented things wasn't how things happened. Isn't that right, Natural? I mean, I thought Yagsterr just immediately telling Dire something that Ghost and Tag had told him in private and later telling them that whatever problem they were having with Dire was a one-sided beef, well, that doesn't look good for creators who are A. running most of the fan projects in the Murder Jones fandom, B. pretty influential in the Murder Jones fandom, and C. are the people who can decide which channel is allowed to, quote-unquote, blow up in the fandom. But more about point C later. I want to do something else first. I want to reach out to those people who have had the courage to comment under Tag's video, and I want to talk to them. Hey Funny, I need to talk with you. It's important. It's about Dire. So yeah, let's just say it like this. I only have one critique if I look at Funny's response, and that would be, well, he's being too nice, cause he brings up that, well, maybe Dire wasn't that bad to Tag, but, well, I looked into it, he really didn't treat him well. Apart from the work conditions with crunch and all of that being involved, also just how he managed to pay Tag. Yeah, that's not okay. Honestly, still great talking to him, but I have to be honest, for what he did, you weren't harsh enough. You were too nice. Hey, Surmy. I think we need to talk. There's a few things I'd like to know about your interactions with Dire and Yagsterr. So, yeah, what I was able to gather from my interaction with Surmy was, well, first off, you maybe already read it, but yeah, they pretty much still agree with most what they said. And I do think it's very admirable that, well, they even wish for the other two to better themselves. Like, that is very mature. It's just, yeah, very mature, and it's just the exact opposite of what those two are right now. Yeah, I do think that these words, that they need to recognize what they've done and who they've affected, that those are things that need to happen. Honestly, great small convo I managed to have with you, Surmy. And yeah, thank you again for not just immediately thinking, hey, what the hell, why are you just randomly DMing me? But yeah, speaking of that, I sadly couldn't reach out to Cosmo. I don't have their contact, and, well, even if I would have tried to somehow contact them, yeah, that would have looked very, very weird, and something I really don't want to do is make people uncomfortable, so I, after looking at my possible ways of contacting them, decided against doing it. While that means I cannot verify that the people still stand behind their stated opinion of the comment, I do believe, just by how similar Surmy, Funny's, and their messages were, that they probably hold a lot of truth. I just sadly can't verify those thoughts to be the thoughts of the person. Because, yeah, Cosmo, I couldn't reach out to you, and hey, if you wanna talk, like, DM me on Discord. You probably, I mean, just insert my Discord handle here. I'm not shy about that, just DM me. Alright, that's all I needed to know from them. If that made me realize one thing, it's that I should probably take a look at my old content and check how they treated me, because I did, quote-unquote, collab with Yagsterr a few times, so let's take a look at our message history. So, my history with Yagsterr, quite the thing. The earliest contact I had with Yagsterr was on, well, in DMs it's February 9th of 2024, but I talked to him before. It's just that, well, back then, we were both part of a server, and yeah, kind of noticed me, and collapse started. well, not a collab if you, well, look at the text here, that obviously states cameo, because of course. But hey, if I have to say one thing here, dear God, I can see how some people got sold that they need to be a brand or something, or that they are the most amazing thing and nothing without Yagsterr. Because, oh God, do these already read like, you're the best, you're cooking, that is amazing. Like, Yagsterr is just glazing. I did shitty work on that video. It's not public anymore, but hey, I can tell you, writing a, well, basically fanfic of the fuck of Murder Jones before it ends, just to guess what could be the ending, and removing one character I really don't like. Well, yeah, of course, tell me I'm cooking. Yeah, no, honestly, that was probably just to glaze. Hey, you got the attention, yeah, you got your comment. Yeah, okay, so, reaching out to him again for a video. He didn't answer the last question because too controversial, obviously. The question was about how he thought of another creator, which by now, yeah, that guy deleted his channel because yeah, imagine a content farm on a similar scale to Yag. I mean, some of you probably still know who Drone Throne was. Didn't want to answer that because, hey, that's too controversial. Like, he'd rather let the drama die down and move on. That is, oh well. Anyways, he replied like a week after I asked the questions, which, yeah, that's kind of still okay. Just some exchanges about questions, all of that. And then we get here. I asked if that counts as a collab, and so I shot my dog over to him on Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Let's check how long it takes him to deliver. Last time was like 5 days. How long is it gonna be this time? Oh yeah, Thursday, September 19th. That is quite a long wait. And honestly, I was kind of getting pissed off. I asked him on the 14th if, hey, I don't like putting a deadline on this, but I want to get it out. And, well, then he finally did it on the 19th, which is still 4 days later, even 5. But hey, hard to work with, I guess. Yeah, that was the last video he did with me. Honestly, I'm glad I never collabed with him after. Well, yeah, not really collabs. He still doesn't even list them officially, so yeah, I guess no collab. But hey, that's just a gripe here. So yeah, it's not the best message history, but also not the worst. But yeah, don't listen to Glaze, even if it's someone you're working with. So yeah, I do think that this is one of the things in this whole mess that really also deserves some more attention. Because Dire and Yagsterr actually did do something smart, even if it maybe wasn't intended to be that way in the beginning. But yeah, they helped a few creators get more views and used that to push themselves and those creators. And that's the important thing. They got someone who would glaze them enough to satisfy their ego, but would also be ready to defend them. Like, I know how harsh I'm gonna be sounding with this, but all the people who haven't spoken out yet and know about it, well, they either don't do it because they are scared, or because they are worried that the person who helped them to get where they are now wouldn't want to have anything to do with them. I mean, why haven't you said anything, Planter? I'm sure you must have noticed something. Why didn't you say anything, Slayer? You had experience with Dire and Yagsterr, and if I remember it right, you even edited videos for them. But no, complete radio silence. The same applies to you, Blooper. I know how you told me in RDMs how you would probably be making a video about it. Well, but not directly, of course. Wouldn't want to bite the hand that feeds. Well, and it'd be sad to lose all those connections, right? And that's far too risky. So yeah, if you want to speak out, finally do it. The same applies to a few other creators, like Unhelpful Commentary, who, as far as I know, is friends with both Dire and Yagsterr, but, well, even if they are your friends on Com, do you really want to be friends with people who treat others this way? Why be part of the problem by not speaking up when you can? when you damn as well could. The same applies to you, Dire Maniac. You are one of the people who also has known Dire and Yagsterr for a while. Why can't you just tell us which side you're on? To end this video, I'm just gonna say a few more important words. It was just meant as a way to spread what happened to Tag, and for other people to see that it's okay to speak up. So, if you had any bad experience with them, don't be afraid to talk about it, which you can do by either commenting and helping this video gain more traction, or by making a video of your own and spreading this message further, because we don't have to end a channel, we just have to make people know what kind of person the creators really are. The rest will sort itself. This is where this video was originally supposed to end, but well, Dire responded. So how do you respond to something like this? Well, if sentence mixing and lying was your answer, well, he did that.
This is not good enough. One-sided beef! Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you!
So, following things here. First off, those two voice lines are cut out of context, and actually, "this is not good enough" appears roughly, let me take a look. Here. Yeah, great job. That's probably the worst thing you could have done. You framed Tag by making it seem like he threatened you, when in reality, he, well, really didn't. I don't know how you got the idea of twisting your little fuck up of paying him, which happened after the video was uploaded, which, you know, that's already scummy in its own right. Like, if you're already not even editing the video, crunch Tag to get it done faster, and then upload it before paying him, well, I'd say you're a pretty shitty person to work with. Because, hey, you didn't even do the work on this. I mean, Tag says it pretty well in his video, where he mentions how you really don't do something like this, roughly around the timestamp of 26 minutes. And it's also those few minutes of video after Tag talks about this, which help to contextualize how Tag knows Dire's name and the other stuff, which, yeah, just listen to this. It's really funny how Dire tries to frame this as a threat from Tag.
I had no way of knowing Dire was going to pay me at all. I was left in the dark for that middle void of time until the money was actually sent. This is not good enough. I could tell Dire didn't care much to pay me at this point, as he dashed through the payment after the fact so quickly that he ended up accidentally using his personal account, revealing his name and address.
But hey, since Dire is currently just sabotaging himself by framing Tag instead of just responding, let's take a look at how he responds to the claims of, oh, he doesn't really do that and instead has chapters that are meant to just make the claims of Tag sound ridiculous. Yeah, that checks. Let's take a look at what mind reading is about. Now, I know that I already made fun of Dire using footage that was removed from its original part in the video to somehow help Dire get a good argument, but it seems like he really just doesn't seem to get that. Him doing that again proves that A, you can't really trust him at presenting things the way they happened, B, he's just building strawmen that he can own by disproving them. Great. So, what does Dire claim Tag said? Oh, so he claims that Tag, who, according to him, was talking about how you need to talk with people if you have problems with them, just didn't talk to him, even though Tag said that in a video that's a year old. And oh man, it's so interesting that when Dire mentioned he's frustrated for Tag not reaching out to him even if he had problems, even though the decision to reach out to Yagsterr was made because he was A, one of Dire's close friends, B, Ghost had issues of their own with Dire, C, talking it out with someone who knows the person you are having problems with can be a lot easier because not only did both Tag and Ghost have problems with Dire, arguing with him also probably wouldn't have helped, because he would have been convinced he's in the right, something that a friend wouldn't be, you know, because of critical thinking. This was a good solution. to get things started. And maybe you guys could have talked it out if Yagsterr hadn't just told Dire everything, because he probably went into this already being convinced that Dire couldn't possibly be in the wrong. Look, I don't think I even have to say anything here. I mean, this is Dire's defense for this. Secret information. It's a secret. He told me it's a secret. Dude, what the hell are you smoking? How is your read on this? That, well, they didn't reach out to me, and Yagsterr told me it's a secret. They probably talked with Yagsterr for the previously mentioned reasons, and in hindsight, him just telling you something he was told and he declares as something that should be secret, well, that's very shady, and if people around you behave that way, well, I have no idea why they didn't reach out to you first. Getting a second opinion from someone else first seems like such a stupid idea if you're obviously the most unshady person around. But hey, let's just move on and see how you respond to the other things. Oh, he's trying to frame him uploading the video and paying tag after he did so as clearly not theft, and he left out the parts of how much crunch was involved.
I had Dire send the rest of the money shortly after, which is not savvy, mind you. If you were paid a wage that was close enough to what you were required to be paid and worked hard for, especially under conditions that are holding you back at the same time while working away, I guarantee that you would be a little upset too.
And forgot to mention he didn't credit tag.
Given how much work has to go through uploading a YouTube video, and knowing this was something he didn't make, and was paying somebody else to do so, this was a deliberate choice on his part to obviously make up for lost time on the delay, and hadn't informed me that he was going to do this at all. Delay or no delay, you just don't do something like this. Ever. It is highly disrespectful to the likes of people such as myself, who had to jump through hoops, once again, to get this done. The initial video upload hadn't even credited me for the editing work in the description either.
You know, that almost sounds like manipulation. But hey, Dire, at least according to himself, paid him immediately after uploading. Now, it's really funny if you talk about immediately paying someone for their work when you just said that you didn't even take longer than 11 minutes to pay him after you uploaded. Look, I know that a PayPal payment can take 1 or 2 minutes, but it's not like you didn't know you were going to upload it. You could have also paid him before even starting the upload, which means that assuming it takes, let's say, 4 minutes to upload the video in 1080p and get it through all the checks, you knew the video would come out at 11:33 at roughly about 11:29 p.m. That is enough time to log into PayPal and send someone you've already sent money. So it's pretty strange you didn't, and rather chose to wait another 10 minutes before finally sending it. Yeah, honestly no idea how someone would get the idea of attempted theft. I mean, not receiving your money before the video is uploaded is bad. Having to wait 10 minutes more makes you just seem a lot more untrustworthy. No idea why Tag and Grumpy wanted to speak to Yagsterr first. I mean, Dire obviously can be trusted. He wouldn't screw you over. Well, yeah, judging by how he has chosen to present the information and making him paying Tag too late seem like a way less bad thing than it actually is, I really wouldn't judge you if you said that you don't trust him. So, how far through are we with Dire's video? Get the PNG tuber ready. We're going to take a look at this in a reaction. Hello there. It is I, the Polygon Man. And now, we're gonna take a look at the video, because I've grown tired, and honestly, I want to get done with this, so we have Dire's video here. We're gonna take a look at all the things he says, and we have Tag's video here, so we can actually fact check, because guess what? You can easily disprove people by just looking if the things they say are right. And damn, this one's gonna be pretty easy. So let's see. Okay, that's pretty you don't do that. You don't use the amazing digital circus as a backdrop for your own. And wait, let's just listen. I think he actually just manages to fuck up even more.
This is not good enough. One-sided beef! Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you!
So, following things here. First off, those two voice lines are cut out of context, and actually, the "this is not good enough" appears roughly. Let me take a look here in the video, and we're gonna give full context to this.
I mentioned that it was just satire and that I could take it out if he wanted, but he said not to worry as he still stands by blue being the color of purity.
Okay, that was
Which is false, by the way. White is the color of purity. Look it up.
Not really
Slogging
that
through a
important.
list of names back and forth for a name to land on for the video, we got to the payments. This time being £40 given the far harsher crunch time, even though I...
So yeah, context, tags, a tag had to crunch pretty hard on this one, and now the payment happens, and, well, there's a few things Dire fucks up here.
could tell Dire wanted to weasel out of that much, as he brought up the fact I didn't get the video out on time. But this time, due to unforeseen circumstances and I wasn't in a good headspace, I didn't have a choice. I needed to get away. However, something happened before he sent the money. I got a notification from YouTube. Dire had uploaded the video before paying me.
Tag's gonna mention it, but that's not okay. That should never happen. Never. And yeah, let's just go into detail with that. First off, you know that you are gonna upload a video at least, let's say about 5 minutes before you actually, upload the thing, because it takes a bit of time to actually upload the video itself and process it. So if I'm reading this marker right, that upload date refers to when the video was published, meaning that the creator has to at least have known about 5 minutes before, because they had to have started the damn upload, meaning Dire knew he hadn't paid Tag yet. Dire also knew that if he didn't pay him soon, that would be pretty scummy from him, and well, Dire could have also paid Tag earlier if he was planning on uploading it so early. Well, 11:30 isn't early, but you get the point. Dire could have sent the money way earlier. That's not good management here. Like, honestly. And if you're wondering why are you going into so much detail on this, it's gonna be pretty funny later. When Dire brings something up, which let's just say, I've seen it before. I can take these points apart. Honestly, I already did that once. Just fucked up to record the actual audio from the video, so that was useless. But hey, I know which points to make. I've seen what Dire does and how he manages to completely fuck up his argument. Well, his straw mans, if I've got to be honest.
The video was released on January 20th at 11:33 p.m. and I was paid January 20th at 11:44 p.m.
So, that's a good 10 minutes in difference. You get the problem here, right? Even if you forgot to do it before, a PayPal transaction doesn't take 10 minutes. We're looking like 2 or 3 minutes maybe, and that's if you have to kind of just log in, all of that shit, and do all of that crazy shit, and not just verify the transaction, which that doesn't take that long if you PayPal does remember your device, so if you're lucky, you can just almost immediately pay. So taking 10 minutes to do so, pretty bad, and yeah, also sloppily done because Tag didn't get the full amount. He, well, there's a transaction fee. Now, theoretically, if you agreed to the amount of £40, you should either, if you know that there's going to be a transaction fee, pay more to still give the hag the £40 he's owed, or, well, he found out a way to pay him right the first time. This is just showing how much Dire really cared here. And Tag's gonna tell you something funny now, because Dire fucked up even more. Like, the amount of he didn't care is insane here.
Given how much work has to go through uploading a YouTube video, and knowing this was something he didn't make, and was paying somebody else to do so, this was a deliberate choice on his part to obviously make up for lost time on the delay, and hadn't informed me that he was going to do this at all.
That is something you should never do. If someone you work for does that, I would not work with them again. That is terrible, and in a business sense, that's someone you cannot trust. But hey, why should Dire be that untrustworthy? I haven't even let him talk yet, but hey, I'm just gonna give you full context to make it even funnier when Dire obviously tries to twist something.
Delay or no delay, you just don't do something like this. Ever. It is highly disrespectful to the likes of people such as myself, who had to jump through hoops, once again, to get this done. The initial video upload hadn't even credited me for the editing work.
And that's where it becomes even more bad. Because, yeah, Tag's gonna bring it up, but that's like not good. Because at that point, you're not just being really scummy. You're being extremely scummy because you're not even crediting the person who edits for you, which that's the kind of shit you can do in the time it takes you to fucking upload. Like, write a description. Oh man, how? Man, oh, I accidentally forgot to put you in the description, and I also forgot to pay you, and only did that 10 minutes after the video came out, and, well, also, well, I didn't pay you the full amount. Yeah, no. That's terrible. Terrible management here. And, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, what kind of shit could Dire be managing? Oh yeah. Dire is just the head of a few fan projects. Nothing could go wrong here, right?
In the description either. I was starting to become quite frustrated with Dire's priorities and methods of communication, or lack thereof at this point. This was not an accident.
Yeah, Tag has every right to get fed up here. I am gonna be completely honest. At this point, I don't know if I'd gone as far as I'm gonna describe now in Tag's situation, but I probably would have by how I think about content creation right now. Like, let's just imagine a scenario. Let's just imagine that someone, let's just say you works for Dire, and Dire does exactly this. What would that person do? Well, in my case, I would just tell Dire, if you cannot pay me right and do all of this, well, I think our business relationship is over, and I'd even say you can keep the video, but hey, I'll never work for you again, and I'll tell other people about your business deals. Because honestly, that's just a bad buzz if you're doing shit like this.
You do not upload the work you commission someone to create before paying them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd say that has to be common sense, but hey, Dire did it, so obviously not.
That is ludicrous. In fact, no payment or credit? Dare I say that sounds like attempted theft? If not, poor management skills for certain. Management.
So, yeah. Attempted theft, you actually can make the argument. I brought it up earlier. Dyer had enough time. He knew he was going to upload. He probably knew that almost half an hour before he actually did. Because who knows how long he spent writing all the descriptions, or if he just had those ready and prepared. You have a window of time where you definitely know that you'll upload and where you should probably pay people. If you don't do that and only do that like 10 minutes after your upload, well, yeah, that's an okay argument for attempted theft. Because who knows if Dyer would have paid him if Tag didn't say anything? Honestly, that's a good argument to make for attempted theft.
Skills that are mandatory for this specific line of work. I had no way of knowing Dyer was going to pay me at all. I was left in the dark for that middle void of time until the money was actually sent.
Yeah, and that is pretty shitty on Dyer's side, honestly. You don't have to hate Dyer to see this. You just have to use that little brain thing inside of your head and go like, wait, I'm not getting paid fairly? Why? But let's just move on. I know this is gonna be long, so yeah.
This is not good enough. I could tell Dyer didn't care much to pay me at this point as he dashed through the payment after the fact so quickly that he ended up accidentally using his personal account, revealing his name and address.
That is so fucking stupid, honestly. I mean, I can't speak from experience here. I only have my personal PayPal, and well, I didn't even know you could make another. I mean, I don't know. I never thought about it that way. But if you fuck up that bad, I mean, you can just like wait, let's just think about it. You'd have to be pretty stupid to use the wrong one, because not only would that mean you'd have to take a look at the login window, then select the wrong one to autofill, and then when it asks you to verify that this is the account you want to use, you go, yeah, sure. I mean, Dyer doxes himself when it could be so avoidable. Like, you'd have to be massively stupid to do such a thing. Like, good job, dude. You doxed yourself. And it's not like PayPal didn't try to stop you. Well, oh yeah, and it's gonna get even more embarrassing if you don't just paste your user info in. Like, I mean, I'd say most people just do logging in with password managers. So you take a look at the text box. It asks you, want to log in with this one? First one, you see which account it is, and then you let it autofill. But let's just say you're entering it manually. Then it's gonna get even more embarrassing. I mean, he probably didn't do that, because he rushed through the transaction, but hey, sloppy work. Really sloppy.
Coupled with the fact that I didn't get the full £40 as I was charged with a £1.46 transaction fee. I had Dire send the rest of the money shortly after, which is not savvy, mind you. If you were paid a wage that was close enough to what you were required to be paid and worked hard for, especially under conditions that are holding you back at the same time while working away, I guarantee that you would be a little upset too. Going back to Dire using his personal account and revealing his name and address, his reaction to doing so led him to say one of the most unnecessary things you could ever say to someone you should know by now obviously doesn't dox people. I also doxed myself with my other account. Oops. Well, don't say shit. I don't think I can put my reaction to something that cold into words, so we're going to save how I felt at that moment for later. You'll get to hear my frustration soon.
So, let's just say it like that. If Dire hadn't brought it up, Tag wouldn't really know. But hey, just leaving it out there. So let's take a look at what Dire has to say. We're not even 8 seconds in. This is gonna take hours.
There's water under the bridge. It happened a long time ago. Who cares? What was with the whole fucking thing of like, that one time you paid me for a video commission on PayPal and it was on your personal account? And it showed your home address. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do with your home address?
So, isn't it funny how we're only like 30 seconds in and Dire already tries to frame it in a way where Tag supposedly be trying to dox him? Yeah, no, that's not what happened in the video. But hey, hindsight is 2020. We've just seen what happened, and yeah, this is just manipulating shit. This is just, I mean, I gotta be honest, almost the whole fucking video, which this is the dumbest way to do a response. First off, these titles are not something you should do, but hey, who cares? Anyways, yeah. I find this one really funny. Just in case they try to claim otherwise, I made it clear I was recording for the one clip I used. The other person in the call can vouch for that. You know, that is funny because the other person in the call is one of your underlings, Dire. It's one of your workers. Hey. I'm pretty sure that's like saying, no, this guy's gonna be pretty fair. He's completely on no side. He's not gonna say anything in favor of me. But, well, I'm paying his paycheck, but don't think about that. So, yeah. This means jack shit, because, yeah. Tag has gone as far as to make a full cancellation video on me. In said video, he threatens me and calls for me to be removed from the community. We're gonna find out if that's true. I do not believe many of his arguments are correct at all. So I will be going through his larger and more serious points, debunking the ones that are false and taking accountability for the few that hold some water. You know how that reads, right? Like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm gonna admit to some points which, well, don't really hold that much ground. That's like, man, I'm so... Yeah, honestly, this is sickening. Hey, oh, you fuck. Man, I wonder why Tag blocked you, Natural. Couldn't be because you, well, decided to... Oh, what you coming again? Editor, show a screenshot on what, Natural commented. Oh, yeah, makes sense, right? These guys just Dire's little doggy, little dog, little lab dog. Oh, spineless motherfucker.
Hello everyone, this is the Dire Duck. Today's video will be a bit more serious than my normal
Hello everyone, this is Chris Polygon. Today we will be talking about the Dire Duck.
content, but I feel I need to respond to some pretty serious things that have been said about me within the last few weeks. Recently, another YouTuber in the murder and space called Tag, otherwise known as the Amazing Gamer 111, made a video about me alleging abusive behavior and a bunch of other allegations against me. Whilst I don't want to turn this into a 5-hour long reply essay,
Now, let's just take a look at what Tag said this was going to be about. So we're going to be completely clear about this. Because I do feel like we just have to present facts.
Let's Celebrate Murder Drones was a 5-hour-long community project made by fans of the show with the same name who all came forward one by one to express their love on the show and how it positively impacted them. Obviously, as this was such a large project, a large space was needed to house everyone so that they can interact and share their pieces, myself included. So a Discord server was created. One member of this server was the Dire Duck, a YouTuber who focuses on making content surrounding glitch productions. Unfortunately, this person hasn't been the kindest to a lot of people, including me, and that's why I'm here today. Recently I put out a community post saying that there was something, or rather someone, that I couldn't keep quiet about anymore. The Dire Duck is that someone. In full detail, I'm going to tell you my entire experience both knowing and working for him, although be warned there are sections of this video where I get rather violent due to how badly I took what was going on between both myself and other victims of Dire's.
So, hey, I guess you'd just say, yeah, no, obviously, no. What did you say again, Dire?
abusive behavior and a bunch of other allegations against me. Whilst I don't want to turn this into a 5-hour long reply essay, Tag, otherwise known as the Amazing Gamer 111, made a video about me alleging abusive behavior and a bunch of other allegations against me. Whilst I don't want to turn this into a 5-hour long reply essay,
I wouldn't say there are allegations, Dire, though. I mean, we've already skipped a bit ahead with the whole payment thing, but that's not an allegation. That's just a problem you have.
I'll be going through the majority of the main claims he makes in his video. I do not believe he's making a fair case, but instead angrily throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks in an attempt to hurt me as much as possible.
As we have seen, no, not really. We will be seeing more of Tag's video in the later recording here, and you will realize that's not how he acts. The only one who seems to be throwing things here, well, trying to somehow turn this into I am being attacked, is Dire, which, oh, look. Someone in the comments points this out and says the following. Wow. You sit there, make yourself look like the victim, then pretend to act surprised when someone lashes out at you because of how you've been acting, and then deflect over and over when for around 3 years you've treated 20 plus people the exact same way you treated him. Yeah, you keep treating people under you like dirt, and you keep pressing them to do things for you, and offloading your issues on them. And you act all surprised when they lash out and get upset about it. Then you should seriously expect us to just believe you. Okay. Let's just take a look here. Father Andrew calls something out. He makes points, which, good, those are good points. Most of this is true. Like, yeah, as far as I can verify, most of the stuff he says here is true. And this commenter doesn't seem to, making up lies and making up lies? Yeah, this commenter didn't get it, and then there's Natural. Dear God. Natural, you're just digging yourself into a hole you cannot escape from. You are actively trying to spread misinformation. Oh, but hey, that's okay.
In this video, I'll be going through his main arguments, including a smoking gun that shows his bad intentions near the end.
So, it should be pretty obvious that you, well, maybe don't structure your response video like a fucking optimized YouTube video for views, because, oh my fucking God, that is disgusting. And should really show the people how much you care.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. First up, a lot of the issues that Tag has with me have gotten blown up out of proportion because he effectively expects me to read his mind and know when he has an issue, rather than him just outright telling me there is one.
I feel like that's, I wouldn't say that's narcissistic to say, but kind of. Just saying, well, you other people could have done something. I obviously couldn't. It's your guys' fault. Like, this is the read I'm getting on this. This is just, oh, your fault. I cannot be at fault. I am the Dire Duck.
I wanted you to figure that out on your own.
That is from, we were just about a minute in. Let's take a look at where we were. Where could that be? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, let's see.
Admitting he was in the wrong, but just couldn't say it to me directly. I find it disgusting. One-sided beef was the conclusion they came to about everything that was going on at the time and did ever after. So let me see if I've got this straight, alright? So unfair crunch time is one-sided beef. Taking a short time away from editing due to being sick is one-sided beef, is it? Okay. Checking on my partner at the time because of an overwhelming amount of stress, is that one-sided beef? Well, okay, if that's a one-sided beef, then can you answer me this, boys? Is wanting some fucking respect one-sided beef? Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you! New Year's Eve 2025.
So I hope this has been able to recontextualize why Tag lashed out. This was something that happened at the end of his video, which is just, well, his last messages to Dire and Yagsterr, who he had every right with to be angry at, because Dire, well, Crunch, well, I think Tag said it pretty well. He had every right to be upset, but still, Dire's trying to frame it in a completely different way. You don't do that.
It was around the midnight hour. I had prepared 2 voice messages a few nights prior. One for Yag, one for Dire. These voice messages would serve as my final words to the both of them. No strings holding me down, letting them know how I felt, and completely letting loose after everything I had been through while knowing them. Even when I appeared in their content, I put on a mask in hopes that someday, maybe, they would figure out that what they did and said was wrong. But that never happened. They didn't care to be transparent with me, but I had no issue being transparent with them. The first voice message was addressed to Yagsterr, sent to his email within the midnight hour of New Year's 2025. After sending this message through, I blocked Yagsterr everywhere. I do not want to hear from him again. I've got nothing prepared for you, because I don't frankly care enough. I'm just going to speak from the heart here because I don't think I really need a script or any sort of notes to tell you why exactly I'm upset with you. And I think you know. I think you know. You should know. And I'm not going to go balls off the walls here, but I am pissed off. No, that anger I'm saving for Dire's message. Let's talk a bit about that, shall we? The one-sided beef? Really, Yag? One-sided beef? Are we okay, alright. Name me what's one-sided about this story, okay? Let me see if this rings a bell. Dire gives me unfair crunch time for a commission and doesn't pay me extra for his Sin video, right? I get upset.
We're gonna talk about that a bit more later, because actually, really interesting what happened on that video. But yeah, I'm not gonna go too far ahead. I'm just gonna give Tag and, well, everyone the time they need to really understand this.
Because my partner has just received 17 paragraphs of a thesis for a year-old video. And is a bit taken aback, because that's my fault. He was unfairly involved with something. We talked about this on Coppercast in great detail. Alright? That happened. And that was when this whole thing with Dire was going down. The whole Sin video, the whole commission crap that I fucking don't care about. Alright? That fuck our Sin video he asked me to make. So I said, hey, alright, I need a day to myself because I would like to go and formally apologize to my partner and make sure he's alright, because he was quite shocked to wake up to that on a work day. He was already stressed enough, and then he receives that bullshit that he really doesn't need. Dire's first response: so when are you going to be back making the video? I had a problem with that. Immediately prioritized his work, even though I told him I was upset, I needed time away from online, I needed to go see my partner, I wouldn't be able to get the video out for him, and also said if he really wants the video out, he can get someone else to make it. And he wouldn't have to pay me, at all. Does that seem fair? Because I think me saying that is fair. Either I have just some time for myself, just for a day, to go and do something personal, alright? And you can either wait, or you won't have to pay me, you can get someone else to do it. That's fair. You can't twist any way that that's unfair. At all. And then me and goes tell you about this, and you blurt this out to Dire, and you come to the conclusion that this is one-sided beef. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? You're out of your fucking mind. If you think that me prioritizing my partner over a video that ultimately no one gave a fuck about was more important. A video is more important than a person. You're acting a bit out of it, Tag. Seems a bit one-sided to me. I am furious with both of you. Fuming! And I have been for months. And the reason I kept you both friended for as long as I did was I wanted you to figure that out on your own. But you didn't. You didn't give a fuck.
So, I don't know. Weird. How giving context to something can completely recontextualize something. So yeah, what Dire's been saying, basically, just, well, it's a fucking straw man, you fucking... Dire, if I have one piece of advice to you, please, manipulate your footage the right way. You're making it way too easy for me.
In the real world, people have disagreements constantly, along with situations where one person offends or upsets the other without realizing it. This happens all the time. If you're not willing to come forward and say if there's a problem, a lot of the time people just
don't want to come forward and say there's a problem, but isn't that what you've been doing? Rather than, I don't know, apologizing to Tag directly, you'd rather go through, well, Ghost? Well, you didn't either though, so, right? Anyways, move on, please. I don't want to sit here longer than I have to.
won't realize. That doesn't make the person malicious. In fact, in Tag's own apology video from last year, he says this.
You know, if there's any issues that you have with me, tell me.
Wait a second, I've just remembered that I covered this in a video, right? We're gonna go to, yeah, let me take a look. Yeah, I kind of already did, apparently. Shit. Oh, yeah, I went into this in detail, apparently. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let's just refer to this back so I can go a bit more ahead.
Being told, because that way I'd be exposing the fact he told me. Next up, Tag makes a very strongly implied claim in this video that I attempted to steal his work without any intentions to actually pay him.
You do not upload the work you commissioned someone to create before paying them. That is ludicrous. In fact, no payment or credit? Dare I say that sounds like attempted theft?
While uploading before payment and credit was a definite mistake on my
So yeah, just blend in what I've said earlier in the recording, because yeah, that holds true. I think I made a good argument. So what did past me mean with I made some good arguments with the attempted theft thing? Well, let me explain. The basics are, by definition, attempted theft, if defined by just googling it or Wikipedia, is basically just an unsuccessful effort to steal property involving an intent to commit a crime and an action that goes beyond mere preparation. Which boils down to, you intended to do it, you kind of did it, but then chickened out and were like, no. What Dire did was, well, he didn't pay Tag, which would mean he stole the video in that sense. And if he hadn't paid Tag, well, that would have been theft. Now, thanks to him paying Tag later, it's only attempted theft, but gotta be honest, the claim of attempted theft is pretty solid. I mean, Tag said it himself, he had no way of knowing that Dire's ever gonna pay him, and I mean, yeah, that's what attempted theft means. A theft that doesn't work, you know? Just, thought I'd say it. I hope that's enough as an explanation for this.
part, as I was in a panic rush to get the video out at the time, payment was sent within literal minutes of the upload.
Now, 11 minutes. Well, not really in minutes of the upload, because you knew earlier, once again, and you rushed through this, which you, well, yeah. Also, which you kind of doxed yourself with, but hey, this is fine. 11 minutes of difference. I'm sure you're not gonna say something completely different later in the video. Okay, let's move on.
This makes his claim of attempted theft a very serious overstatement if
Not really though. I've already gone into detail why it really isn't, and I'd say Tag has a pretty good point on that being the case. Like, if you had paid him, let's say, you didn't take just 11 minutes and rather took 20, well, that'd be... It's really just a weak case of attempted theft, because, well, you still decided to pay him, but let's just say Tag didn't have any way of knowing if he'd ever get paid for it. You could have just pulled out and, well, really done it. That's why it's attempted theft. It's really only theft if you actually do the thing. But I'm pretty sure you were thinking about it. I mean, not having to pay someone $40 for something you'll most likely earn a bit more on. Well, that sure sounds like a good deal.
If not an outright falsehood. In his own video, you can see the time difference between payment and the upload was literally 11 minutes.
Yes. The upload. You knew you were going to upload earlier. At least a few minutes earlier. Once again, that's pretty weak. You already knew you were going to upload. You could have prepared to pay him at that time. You could have paid him earlier and tell him, hey, I'm going to upload this at that date. But no, you didn't do anything. You just didn't communicate, and in the end, I think you were kind of thinking about it.
As I went to pay him immediately after I uploaded. Was it?
Well, I wouldn't say 11 minutes is immediately, right? And you could have done so when you uploaded, but hey, yeah, that's pretty weak. If you want to contradict yourself, please do so, but hey, it's just making it easier for me, because you're just pulling shit now. You say, oh, I only took him 11 minutes. Oh, I did it immediately. Well, no, you took more than 11 minutes, because you knew as soon as you decided to press the button in studio, which means you still have a few more minutes before those 11 minutes of when the video was actually online. So we're talking like a good 15 minutes of not paying him, even though you knew you were going to upload. So yeah, pretty fucking scummy. But hey, you did it immediately. I'm pretty sure that clears you of every mistake ever.
Was poor management on my part? Yes.
That is indeed the case. But it's just not poor management. It's really, really poor management. I mean, I talked about it earlier. It's not just poor management. You're just being a terrible employer.
Absolutely. But an attempt at stealing his work?
It definitely could have been. Attempted theft just means... Let's pull up the definition. Censor some shit here, please. Attempted theft. Once again, a definition here is when someone intends to steal but fails to complete, meaning you still realize I cannot do that. Attempted theft is the right claim to make here. It's not theft, but attempted theft for sure.
Absolutely not. This makes it...
Yeah, I shouldn't have paused here, but yeah, Dire, that's attempted theft. Pretty sure that's how that works.
Claim of attempted theft a serious overstatement, if not...
It really isn't. Just thought I'd say it before the viewers actually think you might be saying the truth, but no, that's not the case.
outright falsehood.
Oh man, volunteer work. I'm already excited for this.
Next up, Tag alleges that me asking him if he'd be interested in joining the volunteer project called Murder Drones Insecurity was a form of abuse on my part. Now,
before Dire shits out something here, let's let's take a look at what Tag has to say. Scrub, scrub. Scrub, scrub. Wait.
Asking someone whether or not they'd be open to joining a volunteer project is not the same thing as forcing them to.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to find where that message history is, and I think it's around.
Pure bewilderment, it was off to bed for me. Editing the audio and some jokey bits and bobs. Once complete, I'll be able to move on to add the visuals. January 29th, 8:58 AM. Another check from Dire. This time I gave an S and then said he thought it was his. Mentioned characters would catch on, caring more about the discussion aspect rather than the spotlight, and how maybe when all four get their own respective videos, Dire could compile. I sent the new edit to Dire, to which he pointed out issues on both his end and my own, even though the issue he listed was one of his own making with what he wrote in the script, so I'm not sure why he clumped me in. Keeping the video as is regardless, I was
Cool that he left that out, right?
paid £45 in the end and the video was uploaded. January 31st around 1 PM, I mentioned to Dire that between then and the next commission I was going to be opening commissions to everyone publicly, along with a sheet of prices that everyone will need to read and take into account before I accept any sort of work, including Dire. In response, Dire seems to be surprised that I'm increasing prices on him, and hopes that I won't become unavailable, also saying his scripts include notes for some reason. As we have seen, they do not. They are only what Dire says in the audio that he sends and nothing else. But it seems he's concerned about me being unavailable in the future, so it seems he'll at least hear out my terms of service once public. I noted that this sheet would also push him to change anything before sending me what he wanted me to put together over, as to make things easier and less stressful for both of us. Having spoken to both my partner at the time and my mum, both with their own small businesses, about fair prices, I said that I had laid down the grounds for payment requirements in order to keep track of the exact pay necessary for certain lines of work. Dire, to my utter bewilderment once again and after everything I had been through working for him, had the audacity to ask if he gets any kind of discount after I sent him the completed commission sheet. And when I said that he doesn't, he said it was worth a try.
Now, knowing how Dire is with paying, yeah, that's the audacity to even ask that is crazy.
Key rule for commissions. Just because you know someone who has commissions open, especially if they are a friend or loved one, to which I have many who do, that does not give you a free pass when you want something from them, period. If so, that is up to the person being commissioned, not the customer. After this point, no work from Dire was issued to me again. We barely interacted at all for months, and I was fine with that. Guess since the sheet meant he had to play by my rules, he may not have liked that. Not that I minded. The less work from him after the past 3 commissions, the better. November 17th, 3:23 AM.
I just want to point out that date. First off, you notice how many months have passed between that? Yeah. They didn't speak for months. The insecurity offer came in November. They spoke last in January. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, later in the video, Dire will mention. They just spoke and blends in images of their last message. Reminder, the insecurity offer is in November, and what does Dire say is the message from just before? Oh yeah, right, the one from January. You're gonna see that later in the video, and I'm gonna lose my shit, cause you're making it too easy, Dire.
Dire had a request. As per usual, I didn't respond until waking up. I let him know that I wouldn't be too active as I was working that day, but later I was willing to hear him out. I wasn't too worried at this point. I had terms and conditions if my help was needed for video editing, if that's what he needed. That he did, but just not for him. He stated that we need a competent video editor. I was not told who we was until I prompted an answer. I said I was game and was quick to remind him that this still falls under commission work, as he contacted me first, again.
Now, here... Look, this looks like a business offer, and nothing here implies free work. Tag has already said so. So what's Dire gonna do next?
Referring to the sheet in case he'd forgotten. Dire then said, I mean, this is volunteer work for insecurity.
So you only come to someone if you have volunteer work, who pointed out months earlier that he doesn't do that. He has a commission sheet for a reason, but hey, you can still try.
Insecurity being the name of a Murder Drones fan project. Once more, no, this is not what
I do also find it funny that Dire says, team is currently volunteers. We are planning the monetization. Huh? How the hell would you even monetize a project like that? Weird. I'm just gonna say that. You can't make money off of something you don't own. Oh yeah, right. Dire is a media review channel. He doesn't care about that. Why?
volunteer work is, as we went over earlier. You'd think, since Dire is in his 20s at this point, he'd know the difference between voluntary and involuntary work. I've also spoken about this offer with my mum and my boss at my current job about this too, so there's two authoritarian figures who have fact-checked that Dire didn't know what he was talking about here. I said that I don't do voluntary work anymore, but then Dire said that the entire insecurity team is volunteering and that it wouldn't be fair if he only paid me.
This argument is stupid. Just because you somehow got them to do it for free doesn't mean that someone you reached out to who has been telling people that they do commissions and don't do voluntary work, and, well, you just still reach out to them thinking, hey, I can get them to somehow do this for free. Yeah, that's scummy.
Just because everyone else is volunteering, that doesn't mean I want to. I had guidelines, he knew I had guidelines, and I was going to stick to them. If you think charging money for my hard work seems unfair, find somebody else who will do it for free. Don't call bullshit because you said it was voluntary, even though you came to me. I told Dire, as you can guess, that I'm very busy with stuff both online and offline, not having any ill will, making it clear that I don't even do free work for my closest friends. He responds asking if I'm not interested, to which I said no, and hope he understands. For a month, I pondered about everything I had endured up to that point, trying to make sense of it. Reaching the end of December, I did.
Do you like how things can be recontextualized? Okay, let's just take a look at attempted theft again. And continue.
Do unpaid work. He said he was not interested as seen in this video, which was accepted by me, as also seen in this video. Many other people working on insecurity have joined after being invited. This is not abnormal behavior for a volunteer project. His video also implies that I asked him out of the blue for this, but
Implies? We can see the message history. There were months in between. He doesn't imply it, it states it, quite obviously.
From my perspective, I thought we were on friendly terms. The message just before this also
The message just before January
showed this. We had actually been talking quite a lot in VCs and group chat just before this,
which you don't have any proof for, hence you're not showing any screenshots, which, yeah, even if you had those, that'd be fucking weird, right?
and actually talked through a lot of our issues we had with each other at the time. The night before the
You don't have any proof for that, though. You cannot just say something without providing at least some piece of evidence. Why the hell do you think I'm also looking at Tag's video to help the viewer get a fuller picture? Oh, because I'm actually trying to take a look at how much bullshit you've been saying for this video, and we're just nice. We're just 4 minutes and 20 seconds in, and you've already said enough bullshit to, I don't know, at least cause some kind of outrage.
With May, we were talking about fan projects we were a part of.
You don't have any proof for that, though. Like, you can't just be saying shit without evidence.
Exchanging experiences and advice with one another. When we spoke about insecurity, Tag told me how excited he was for the project and how much he would love to be a part of it.
Which you have no evidence for, and that really just sounds like you're... I mean, Dire, this is... I mean... Have you been dick riding yourself? Like, honestly. I want to listen to that again. That sounds fucking narcissistic.
Just before this, and actually talked through a lot of our issues we had with each other at the time. The night before the offer was made, we were talking about fan projects we were a part of, exchanging experiences and advice with one another. When we spoke about insecurity, Tag told me how excited he was for the project and how much he would love to be a part of it. After hearing this, I offered to see if I could find him a role within the project so he could join. He said that would be great. As you can see from the DM...
Motherfucker, that's not what he said. Not at all. Not even close. We know why he said, alright, I'm game. Dire asked him. He's not showing the full message history. Really fun. But hey, we have that. Let's take a look at what Dire actually said first. Oh yeah, right.
DMs. Less than a day later, I came back to him and asked him if he wanted to be an editor on the project.
I feel like you're just, So, Jarvis, could you please reference what Dire's just said with, what actually went down? Oh, yeah, of course. That's a fucking lie, Dire.
This is also why I did not make it immediately clear what I was referring to in my initial DM exchange. As soon
Dire, you reached out to Tag, who openly told you he's just doing commission work now, and tried to somehow get him to do it for free. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds scummy, really scummy.
he would have remembered the conversation we had quite literally the night before it.
I am in awe. I've seen people digging their own graves before. You criticize him for something you have no proof of him having ever said, and the only person who could prove that this was actually true is you? I called bullshit, Dire.
He said he would only do it if he was being paid. I said...
That isn't what he said. He said, hey, I'm game. You seem to be commissioning me for something. He reminds him, this is a commission. You need to pay me for this. Give me some prices. Let me take a look at what you're gonna offer me. And Dire just comes with him at, well, actually, this is volunteer work. I don't want to pay you. I am so fucking sad about this model not having a more accurate way to convey my emotions, because, oh man, I wouldn't be smiling right now. But hey, at least I can blink.
That I could not pay him as no one else on the project was being paid, as it was a volunteer project. So it would be unfair to pay him for his work and not...
You didn't reach out for that though. You reached out and said, hey, I have some work for you. That implies you want to commission him. I can see no world where that means, hey, I'm reaching out for volunteer work. It's almost like you expected him to read your mind. But hey, That'd be crazy. Doing the thing you're accusing him of doing? Oh no.
Pay everybody else on the project for their work. So in the end, it went nowhere. It is false for him to claim that I was abusing him at any point during this whole conversation.
If I remember right, abuse was never mentioned in that context. Not at all. That is just something you've now kind of invented to help build your straw man. But hey, it doesn't really work. Because you also don't have proof. You could just... If you're so sure about it.
So in the end, it went nowhere. It is false for him to claim that I was abusing him at any point during this whole conversation.
Now, where is the video message or anything that Tag said that could be proof for this? You don't have proof for what you're currently saying, so dare I say I call bullshit.
And he seems to be deliberately leaving out critical pieces of information and context in order to try and damage me as much as possible.
Dire, that's literally what you are doing right now. I am in awe. Once again, you seem to be digging in your own grave. And you've just bought a new shovel to do it even faster.
During another in order to try and damage me as much as possible.
I wouldn't say this is disrespect. No, it is. Mental day / practical scheduling section. Kids, please never respond like this. Like, honestly, it feels like Dire was media trained by Fox News. Or, I don't know. Not at all. No, both are bad, but hey.
During another segment of the video, Tag makes it very clear that he was upset about my response to him going on a mental health day. Now, this was certainly a partial mistake on my end, as the message could have definitely been...
Dear God. Wait, are you even going to show context? Well, it's going to make it easier for me. So we can locate the exact snippet in the video, which you've stopped showing timestamps for? Weird.
Worded better by me, as it definitely came across as a bit blunt and uncaring, though that was not my intention. But asking when...
Alright. We're getting closer to the 25th. Where is it? Where are you? 17th, 18th, 19th. $19 Fortnite card. Who wants it? No more Fortnite. So this has been...
Choice on his part to obviously make up for lost time on the delay and hadn't informed me that he would send the rest of the money shortly after.
So that's like 5 days after that video.
Which is not savvy, mind you. If you were paid a wage that was close enough to what you were required to be paid and worked hard for, especially under people. I also doxed myself with my other account. Oops. Well, don't say shit. I don't think I can put my reaction to something that cold into...
Yeah, that's Dire. Just blend in a clip from earlier. We talked about this in big enough extents to, well...
The third and final video I would do for Dire was issued, only this time it was going to be commissioned in chunks. At 11:40 video I videos I'm not a monster. Obviously, you all know that's something I would never do to anyone. Going to dox him because I wasn't going to. Following on later, I reassured him that I wasn't going to dox him because I'm not a monster. Obviously, you all know that's something I would never do to anyone. The Guinevere video did well. However, my credit was still absent from the description.
Oh, shit. Not good.
January 24th, the third and final video I would do for Dire was issued, only this time it was going to be commissioned in chunks. At 11:41 AM, Dire sent me the script and strangely only the first half of the J video's audio due to sleep deprivation. His target this time was to have the video released the following night. He also claimed that because of his lack of sleep, he may sound a little dead in the recording, hence why he's sending the other half later. To that I say, nobody should be working on anything as sleep deprived or unhealthy in any other sense, unless absolutely mandatory.
Oh man. Oh man. These words are very true. Don't do it. Just go to sleep. Don't pull an all-nighter to finish a video.
But as this is a video being made for YouTube, no. Get some rest and better soon. You only get one body, you should look after it. Side note, Dire claims that the script has guidance on things. We'll see how that turns out in a bit. Once more, I made things clear to Dire that this counts as crunch time, especially since I wouldn't be getting the rest of the video's audio until much later. Keep in mind, we are talking about a 15-minute video. I only had a third of it at this point. On top of that, I had no way of knowing if I was busy or not the next day to work on this thing with the little time I would have, even commenting that he jumped to bring me on before having all of the resources that I would need at the ready. Dire had said that the first 5 minutes was supposed to be sent prior, but something came up with firefighting on his end. I can only assume that's what he does for a job then.
We can gladly assume, no, that's not the case. No, not really. Also, you wouldn't really want to be rescued by Dire, right? Just imagine. Okay, I'm gonna make fun of this a bit, but oh man, my house is burning. You burned my house to the ground? My family's dead. I am the Dire Duck. I'm gonna rescue you. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to get my mind. It's so fucking hot in here. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I would be caught with either a cold or the flu. At that moment, I had no clue, but thankfully it was only a cold. But even then, if you know me, you know I suffer dreadfully from anything that blocks up my nasal cavity. So, I said that I didn't think I was going to be able to hit the mark on this one. I know some will be quick to say that if they were in my shoes at this point, they would probably be able to take on the job just fine while sick. If you think this, then let me tell you that there are two things wrong with that mindset. One, you're rejecting your own body's needs in order to complete a task that can wait. And two, nobody's bodies are the same. We're all different and thus our bodies deal with weaknesses and sicknesses better or worse than others.
That's it. Really true, and yeah, text right here. Don't do it. Honestly, just get well and do things after.
I just thought that was important to mention before reading Dire's response. He says, "Ah, damn. Well, try your best. I've been caught up in big shit myself, though I still intend to send the rest of the recording a bit later." Once more, no consideration. Also making himself sound more capable, as if to say, well, I have to deal with things holding me back too, but you don't see me complaining. So, what did I do after this? Did I respond? Did I just bite the bullet and get back to work, which we'll soon see is what Dire expected me to do? No! I took some medicine, kept a box of tissues on standby on my bedside table, and went back to bed. That day, I didn't spend a second editing at all. Instead, I healed, because that's what I needed to do. January 25th. While still not feeling great, I did what little I could with only 5 minutes of audio to work with while still looking after myself. 10 past 3 PM, Dire asks me how things are going. The video, that is, not me, as we'll see in a moment. Tired, slow, and blunt, I said, "It's going to be hard to get it out without rushing with what little time I have left, having not received everything I need yet. As well as health not being at its best at this time, the likelihood of it coming out today is slim to none." Practically ignoring what I just said, he asked if I'd finished with what I currently had. I'd stated that I'd done some of what was handed over, but again, due to being unwell, it wasn't much. I even apologized for it. And it wasn't until 8:43 PM I received any sort of response, that being the second half of the audio that was 10 minutes long. "Finally," he said. Yeah, finally, the largest resource needed on the night the video was supposed to be finished and released, which I wasn't going to be able to implement whether or not I was unwell. Saying nothing, once again, this time out of pure bewilderment, it was off to bed for me.
Yeah, honestly, this is, glad. Let's just be glad about the fact that this was the last video Tag had to do for Dire, because after a video like this, I would have just, not gonna lie. Bashing your head into a wall next to you seems way more fun than slaving away at such a job which your employer, in that case Dire, doesn't really seem to care about. He only cares about the video coming out and not really about you, it seems. They're asking, how's the video? And not, how are you? Yeah, honestly, I if someone treated me like this, I'd be having problems with them too. But hey, according to Dire or Yag, that's just one-sided beef. Yeah, sure.
January 26th at 11:43 p.m, I let Dire know that I felt better and was getting back to work. And he stated that that was good to hear. Interesting how he reacts positively only when there's good news about his work. Asking again how much I'd managed to do. Going into the midnight hour a short time later on January 27th at 12 a.m, I didn't have much to report on, since prior to this point, as I had said numerous times, I was unwell. 9:06 p.m, Dire checks in again. After some more work, I shoot a response of everything going well in terms of editing the audio and some jokey bits and bobs. Once complete, I'll be able to move on to add the visuals. January 20.
So, Dire didn't ask how Tag was feeling once. Dire at this point knew Tag was sick, but hey, you'd rather ask how your video is going than how your editor is feeling, right?
29th, 8:58 a.m. Another check from Dire. This time I gave an estimated completion for the coming weekend, this being said on a Wednesday, by the way. Hours later at 4:44 p.m, I reported that only 5 minutes were left to edit. I'll admit, while putting effort in, I was mostly fueled by the fact that nothing else from Dire was lined up for me after this. January 30th, 1:14 a.m. For some reason, Dire asked once again when I was at the tail end of editing what I thought of the script, and then said he thought it was his best and worst work. To this day, I have no clue what he wanted me to say. 7:54 a.m. rolls around, and to move things along, I just said that it was good because why are you bringing this up now? If you're insecure about your work, then don't give it to me. Him then talking about how he just felt he was rambling in the video speaks volumes on how he was just trying to pump this out as soon as possible, coupled with not liking how he spoke in the video. Just do a retake then? If you don't have the time, delay the video a bit more, or if you just flat out don't want to, then suck it up and deal with it. I said, all I'd say to work on is make sure you're doing alright in terms of health and energy before recording. Other than that, you should be just fine. Especially since videos on the Forgettable 4 seem to be the most interesting to watch, like deep dives. The Forgettable 4 being Khan, Doll, Jay and Thad, which he mentions in the Jay video. Dire then says, if only the view counts reflected that, sad face. Well, now we know for a fact that he's in it for the fame of the game. Is it just me, or does saying that feel insulting? It just
Oh man, it doesn't just feel insulting, it feels like, am I a joke to you? Am I a joke to you? You don't even edit your shit and still, oh, I need more views.
makes my efforts feel wasted. I left a small comment on how I hoped the videos on the previously mentioned characters would catch on, caring more about the discussion aspect rather than the spotlight, and how maybe when all four get their own respective videos, Dire could compile them into one. After all, other essay creators do analysis videos and later compile them into one later down the road, and those seem to do pretty well. Then, right when I think I'm out of the woods, Dire put the fear in me once more by mentioning he wanted to do more videos. Instead, I made a plan. It was time to create a commission sheet. I knew that if I was ever going to work for someone this inconsiderate again, I would need to create a set of rules that he would have no choice but to abide by. Which means finally being shown a basic level of respect in a line of work that is supposed to demonstrate professionalism. More on the commission sheet soon. Later that day, the J video was rendered and it was time to discuss payment, as Dire hadn't up until now. This is where things get straight up slimy. Listen carefully. Dire says the payment will be the same as the others, that being £30. Also saying that due to me getting the J video done and rendered, he needs to get his Gaslight District script done faster. Wow, he's not even hiding his desire to jump on trends anymore, but back to payments. If we think about Dire's claim on a fair payment this time around, something is off. Notice how he says, going be previous comms. By typo, but okay. Meaning he is directly using the previous two commissions as examples. Okay, let's dissect that decision, shall we?
No. yeah, I think it's pretty important to show this part of the video. Because, yeah, I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna say something I've said a few times before. Having more information sometimes recontextualizes something you've been told. And, well, let's just see how Dire handles all of this. I mean, there was crunch involved, and he really didn't make it any easier by splitting the video and rather making it in chunks. So, yeah, let's just see how Dire decided to pay this one.
Following that, I state, if we were going on previous commissions, given how the first was 7 minutes and I was paid £30 for the video side, and this next video is 14 to 15 minutes, I would think double the duration length, double the length of hours, therefore reflecting payment. However, as you're a returning customer, I would be glad to knock it down to £50. TLDR, double the work, double the pay. Being generous and knocking it down to £50 instead of keeping the price doubled at £60, and this is without, once again, bringing up the completely unfair crunch time due to resources still being provided on the day of intended release. I think I'm being far more than fair here. Dire soon brings up how he also agreed the Sin video was £30 for 11 minutes. Then another £10 was added on for the thumbnail. Dire does deduce that if 10 minutes equals £30, then 15 minutes would be equal to 45, depending on how intense the edits were. Shortly after though, after probably remembering the crunch time that he likely thought I forgot about, he settles for the 50 anyway, again assuming there's a good amount of edits. He does mention that if this is going to be sustainable though, then he needs to become monetized. I remember just sitting in my chair and sighing at this point, taking the time to write the following message. I'm happy to go with the £45 instead of £50. This video took a lot longer as I was having to match voiceovers with footage coupled with being unwell at the start. I am very happy with the end result and I know it's the very best I could have done. I hope you agree. Perhaps moving forward, before you request further video edits, it might be worth gaining a little profit from your channel and seeing what brings more views. It's so frustrating when you're just starting with monetization. So much hard work and not enough views. It will pick up though, just keep plugging. It really does make you wonder what exactly this man's monetary priorities are, doesn't it? If you're going to bring someone on for work and base their payment off of past work you've given them, maybe while discussing payment with them, consult your wallet too, as well as doing so, again, before the work starts.
Now I just want to point something out. All those slop channels, I'm gonna say it, Dire Duck. Slop channel. That's you. And, oh, those silent react channels. I'm pretty sure I haven't been too silent, right? It's my first reaction. It's gonna be long, but hey, I'm not monetized, so I have nothing to gain from this. Any ad you say wasn't placed by me. Dire can do that now. So, yeah. Oh, man. Doing YouTube for the money. That's the saddest thing you can do.
Dire appreciates the statement and hopes he'll be approved and maybe newer videos will turn things around. Then says that considering slop channels get tons of views, surely he can too. Seeing how those are slop channels with slop content and slop thumbnails, you don't want to be like them. You're better off having content that would actually be intriguing instead of trying to hold the attention span of a toddler. There's a large difference and a better way to gain traction. Yes, even commenting on my own TADC YTPs from a while back. Ones that I'm not a fan of anymore and heavily regret making if I'm honest. Dire did ask how much money I made from those, probably out of curiosity to see how much anyone would get from reaching that view count. That being somewhere between £200 to £300, I can't recall the exact profit. Following that little subject, I remembered to ask Dire if he could credit me in the description of the Guinevere video, as I would need the credit to be a demonstration of my work for my commission sheet later on.
That is really smart. Having work you've already done for other people in your sheet, yeah. That's just good practice. Build up your portfolio and yeah.
Soon, he agreed to do it. This is extremely suspicious to me. No surprise, no concern, no apology. almost as if he knew he hadn't added my credit and just didn't care until I brought it up. 10 days after the Guinevere video's release.
Oh man. Oh man. This man seems to be having something with tens. Takes about roughly 10 minutes after. Wait, wasn't the last video? Oh man, Dire. Oh, how sad. Oh man. Dire. I cannot believe it. You really do just manage to dig yourself even deeper and deeper. Like, how far down are you right now?
Soon, I sent the J video through, and as at this point I was quite fed up with Dire's carelessness, I just thought I'd remind him to send the payment through before the upload, add my credit in the description before the upload, and not use his personal PayPal account when paying me. Once more though, what I had done wasn't enough. More changes requested, all of which I didn't understand nor were made clear or were mentioned in the script. The Star Wars 3 reference, the question asking about speeding up the audio that wasn't sped up because Dire was just talking that fast, wanting a specific scene to play as Dire talks which wasn't made clear whatsoever in the script or by him in DMs, and wanting me to repeat a bit that would replace a single second of footage from the show because Dire was worried about YouTube targeting him again. Also, I am concussion of YouTube? Don't you mean I am concerned with YouTube? Anyway, I mentioned that I hadn't picked up on the Star Wars reference, sped anything up, and that I would add in the Tessa bit again if it was important to do so. I made it clear that the Star Wars clip could be an issue though, as it is a Disney property and they're quite protective over their content, but Dire suggested I just experiment.
Yeah, and that's probably because Dire is that kind of channel. I mean, why would you care for other people's content? You can just make content on it. Copyright is something you can just scoot around. Those pesky copyright holders keep me from making money. Yeah. This is scummy, because it ain't your content to begin with, and now you're doing more. I hope this doesn't backfire and you get problems with YouTube because of that.
So, more changes needed to be made. Again, no extra pay for this or crunch once more. Great. January 31st, 3:52 AM. I sent the new edit to Dire, to which he pointed out issues on both his end and my own, even though the issue he listed was one of his own making with what he wrote in the script, so I'm not sure why he clumped me in. Keeping the video as
So he did have problems with it. Cool.
is regardless, I was paid £45 in the end and the video was uploaded.
Yeah.
Work might resume after being told that it could not be done on that.
So, after having heard all of that, oh man, I'm sure what Dire is gonna be saying next is gonna be reflecting what we've just learned in some way, right?
Day is not unusual or automatically poor intentioned. He said he needed time. I was trying to ask him how much time he felt he needed. If Tag informed me that he felt he needed multiple weeks to recover from this whole situation, then I would have.
Now, Dire, could you please stop just saying shit and look, if you're just gonna say some shit, don't just oh, what's that? What's that? Is that's not a normal icon. Oh. So this is your message history. I mean, sure. But hey, currently, these things don't really match up with what Tag has said. And yeah, that's pretty bad.
Gone and found another video editor to finish the assignment in his absence, like he suggested that I do in the recording that he sent me. In the end, he informed me that he felt he only needed a few days to recover the situation.
That was never something Tag said. But hey, I guess we can just make shit up now.
So I happily waited for him to recover. Tag also leaves out the important detail that we actually spoke about this whole situation in the MD family.
And you leave out the important detail. Tag didn't leave out details, and you leave out the detail how you kind of try to screw him with payment. So hey, okay, I guess.
Discord VC, where I gave him comfort and advice on the whole situation.
Motherfucker, you don't have proof for that. And even if you have, that'd be fucking weird. Who records VCs? Without permission?
Suspect that he left this part out, either because he genuinely forgot that it happened, or he left it out deliberately as it weakened.
I am so... You keep taking it. Dire, you're currently also leaving out shit. I mean, and also, you're just leaving out shit. But hey, everything to make you look better.
This whole narrative about me being this uncaring person.
I mean, you definitely are. We've seen that. You've tried to scam him. You don't care. You try to pay less than Tag asked for. And hey, I know you're definitely not uncaring.
During all of this, he also sent ranting threats towards the person that upset him.
Welcome to the internet, pal, where people aren't quite as nice.
This one, I mean, framing it in this way is just disrespectful. This was a message.
With their thoughts on things, and who are you to tell me to give me a fucking lecture on how I should feel about a company that is pretty corrupt at this point when I had good intention when starting out? And who the fuck are you to tell me what I should be doing and how I should be feeling when you, instead of contacting me in any other way, go into my fucking partner's DMs?
This one is Tag being upset because someone... I don't know if we already mentioned the 17 paragraph thing with his partner who got contacted by some random fucking glitch fan who... We probably did. I think this is Tag responding to that person. Now, here's a question. How do you have access to that, Dire? If it was done in the server, well, I'm sure you can actually show the message history here. That'd be easy, right? But hey, you could just say footage censored for others' privacy. Well, you can also just censor in a different way. You know that, right? So, hey, this is just trying to frame Tag. So, yeah.
You absolute prick. I recommend that you should make a video maybe following up on this or some sort of public statement. I recommend you should keep the fuck away from me before I curb stomp you, pal. I've got your number.
Tag had a pretty valid crash out, but no. Frame it like, oh, this aggressive man. He cannot be trusted. And you give us no context to where that audio came from. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. That ain't it.
He's making a real threat here, which obviously trumps any other concerns here. But
he's making a threat because his partner was threatened by a random person. I don't know how you think that wouldn't be a, at least, valid reaction to that, but hey, you're the Dire Duck. You don't care about things.
regardless, I don't think I need to explain to anyone why doing something like this is highly inappropriate in general, but
crashing out because your partner got paragraphed by some random fucking guy? Yeah, no, not valid at all.
especially on a server that contains people who are under the age of 18.
So now you're saying it's on the server. Now, why was it censored so weirdly? Could you please pull up where exactly it came from? You could have just put, I don't know, censor bars above the names. But no, you'd rather full black screen and not give any context.
And have nothing to do with the situation. Throughout the entire video, Tag often assumes that I have the worst possible intentions in all of our interactions, sometimes to an almost comical degree.
That is not true. Tag manages to...
their pieces, myself included, so a Discord server was created. One member of this server was the Dire Duck, a YouTuber who focuses on making content surrounding glitch productions. Unfortunately, this person hasn't been the kindest to a lot of people, including me, and that's why I'm here today. Recently I put out a community post saying that there was something, or rather someone, that I couldn't keep quiet about anymore. The Dire Duck is that someone. In full detail, I'm going to tell you my entire experience both knowing and working for him, although be warned there are sections of this video where I get rather violent due to how badly I took what was going on between both myself and other victims of Dire's.
This is the tone of most of the video. The only thing, and the only part where he really crashes out is, his last messages to Dire and Yagsterr. But no. Oh no. Sure, frame it like this, Dire.
These are some examples from his video, with there being many other plot points and characters that are never fully realised. So, could the show really afford to cram Sin in as a proper character as well? Most likely not. So, I guess the question now is, would it have been worth cutting other elements of the show to make room for Sin? I guess that's for you to decide. But at the end of the day, this is what fan projects are for. They allow their creators to give new life to underused characters and expand the world building of the show.
That just sounds like he's saying fans are making their projects out of obligation to...
I'm pretty sure you might have already called it, but oh man, is Dire just reframing shit once again. Because we can actually take a look at the full clip.
I guess the question now is, would it have been worth cutting other elements to expand the world building of the show?
That just sounds like he's saying fans are making their projects out of obligation to make up for a mistake Liam made when writing MD, rather than out of passion like they're cogs in a machine, which is just insulting to the efforts of the people who are pouring their souls into their fan projects. The next request was to have text on screen actually show the text for the question anything publicly available and is nowhere near release, so why promoting it in... The commission was complete. Until it wasn't. Dire wanted changes, and they were all unnecessary. First, he wanted the segment where he talks about MD fan projects to feature Ghoul and Fuchsia's Murder Drone's Catalyst, and I still have no idea why. Even today, there is barely anything publicly available and is nowhere near release, so why promoting it in January of 2025 was such a priority, I will never know. Dire's reasoning for this request is that the project revolves around Sin, making its appearance relevant. There are two issues with this explanation. One, the standalone subject of featuring a segment about MD fan projects in a video describing a character in canon is pointless because it has no ties to what people clicked on the video for, and two, specifically wanting Catalyst to be shown off here because Sin is a major character there too is redundant because Catalyst isn't canon. No fan project was, is, nor ever will be canon. This request in the subject of the moment of the video it was tied to was a waste of time and feels more like padding than anything else. It was pointless to include in a video talking about canonical elements. The reason Dire included this segment at all was to say that the world building and character expansions Murder Drones missed out on are what fan projects are for.
You may see this as a missed opportunity, but you must also remember, Murder Drones is a show that already has a lot going on at once, with there being many other plot points and characters that are never fully realised. So, could the show really afford to cram Sin in as a proper character as well? Most likely not. So, I guess the question now is, would it have been worth cutting other elements of the show to make room for Sin? I guess that's for you to decide. But at the end of the day, this is what fan projects are for. They allow their creators to give new life to underused characters and expand the world building of the show.
That just sounds like he's saying fans are making their projects out of obligation to make up for a mistake Liam made when writing MD, rather than out of passion like they're cogs in a machine, which is just insulting to the efforts of the people who are pouring their souls into their fan projects. The next request was to have text on screen actually show...
Wait. So, it's not like Dire says it is? Who could have guessed? For sure, no, I couldn't have guessed that.
Make up for a mistake Liam made when writing MD, rather than out of passion like they're cogs in a machine, which is just insulting to the efforts of the people who are pouring their souls into their fan projects.
This is obviously an extremely bad faith reading of my words.
No. For real, my man, it ain't. You left out context. But hey, continue.
Interpretation is clearly not what I meant, and no reasonable person could come to this conclusion.
You'd assume. I mean, everyone can read your mind, right, Dire? Yeah, this is weak as shit.
I obviously don't expect Liam to give large amounts of screen time and attention to every single character in the show, or it's a problem with the story. The thing with fan projects is that they often take these more minor characters that don't get lots of screen time or attention and build upon them, giving new character traits and plot points that massively improve their story and add a new...
Could you stop promoting your own projects, please? The balls to promote fan projects in a response should show you exactly what Dire really is all about. I mean, why wouldn't you promote your own fan projects in a fucking drama video?
new creative spin to the universe. That doesn't mean they are fixing supposed mistakes with the story, or that these issues must be fixed by fan projects. Again, this is a very bad faith interpretation of my words in that video.
Dire, I don't know if you know this, but have you tried shutting up? Have you tried not digging your grave any deeper?
Once again, and after everything I had been through working for him, had the audacity to ask if he gets any kind of discount after I sent him the completed commission.
Tag had every reason to be mad here. Once again, we've talked about this before. We should know why Dire even asking in the first place is pretty fucking, well, insane.
Sheet.
For this moment, is it a bit of an awkward attempt at tongue-in-cheek humour from me that...
There's nothing humorous about this. You're just a fucking dick for even trying.
clumsily executed in the end? Sure, I'll take responsibility for that.
Oh, you're gonna take responsibility for one thing. For you clumsily writing it. Not that you had a bad payment history and all that. Okay. I know that you didn't really want to pay as much as Tag really deserved for his work. Oh yeah, I get it.
I assume the clueless face variant would have been the signal this was obviously meant to be taken as a joke.
Motherfucker, don't use emojis in such a context. You should know that.
But apparently Tag did not see it that way. I guess I could have put a /JK to make it even more obvious. But even so, awkward behaviour is not evidence of malice on my part.
I don't think anyone has ever said that. Rather just, could you please actually be a good employer and pay people fairly and not try to scam them out of their money? I mean, Tag deserves more pay, and you just, nah, crunch doesn't exist. I am the Dire Duck. I will crunch, and you won't get more pay.
Particularly when at this moment in time, I had absolutely no idea Tag even had any issues with me.
I asked for a link, and he said he'd throw me one.
This is from the part of the video where Tag, because Dire doesn't provide enough resources, has to search for material. After having collected a bit, well, Tag asks him which one you want. Dire then presents a completely different one and goes like, I'll take this one. Which you can see in the video around here.
At this time. So her stuff was... I've made my case quite clear that my life at this time was stacked, and he still wanted more. Moving on, I asked what of the Catalyst project there was to show, as I had barely seen anything. Keep in mind, because of Ghoul and Fuchsia's other MD fan project, Intermission, she was a massive name in the fandom at this time. So her stuff wasn't hard to find, but there was just nothing on this project that was widely accessible enough for me to know it existed. Then Dire says, those images on Catalyst, like I should be familiar with all of the project's promotional material by now. Not knowing what he meant, clearly, I asked if they were public and he responded with, the ones on Blue Sky. Excuse me, Dire, I have a life outside of the internet, please elaborate. I asked for a link, and he said he'd throw me one. He didn't, by the way. I had to dig around for literally anything myself. But then after I found a few things, Dire sent me the one image I could not find. However, the image would not be enough. He told me that I had to put the logo on there. Alright. So I told Dire I'll do what I can with his requests in mind and asked for the Catalyst logo, and he sent me this. After doing research, I found out that this is not the Catalyst logo. It's a screenshot of the project's Twitter page title. And then, after all of this, you know what he asks me before I leave to work through the night on this video trying to meet the ridiculous demands? Keep in mind that the time is now 9 PM, and I was incredibly fucking tired and done with these ridiculous demands. He asks if I can turn this around tonight. I needed to step away from my PC after that question, because it would be a shame if I punched a fecking hole through it. I am...
So yeah, that's weird. Dire doesn't mention any of that. Oh, but yeah, I guess he's the Dire Duck. At all, he's the Dire Duck after all.
He didn't, by the way. I had to dig around for literally anything myself. But then after I found a few things, Dire sent me the one image I could not find. However, the image would not be enough. He told me that I had to put the logo on there. Alright. So I told Dire I'll do what I can with his requests in mind and asked for the Catalyst logo, and he sent me this. After doing research, I found out that this is not the Catalyst logo. It's a screenshot of the project's Twitter page title.
For this moment, could you say that I poorly communicated and organised things on my end here? Yes.
Yes, you're a bad boss. Well, you're a bad employer. Poor communication, all of that, yeah.
Absolutely. But again, this is not evidence of malice on my part. I should have...
The malice claim came from you, though. I don't think that came from Tag. That's just something you've used here to, well, help your straw man, which still doesn't really work, because, you don't seem to be that good at building them.
Handled and communicate the situation a lot better to Tag, and I apologise for that, but the amount he takes it personally as an attack upon him is rather...
Oh man, I don't know why someone would be being treated like shit by you, and still being treated like shit. No, I don't know how anyone would take that personal. Yeah, no idea. Aren't people just supposed to be emotionless machines that can do work for you? Oh man. Yeah, you're a bit out of touch, Dire.
extreme. Again and again, Tag takes what is either normal or admittedly sometimes awkward or poorly communicated interactions and assigns the worst possible motive to it.
No. He just breaks down what you did. The fact you don't like that he does that and that he can prove you did that should be really, really concerning to your viewers. But hey, they probably won't watch this. This is far too long.
Throughout many parts of this video, Tag makes claims about my editorial choices. For example,
for some reason, Dire asked once again when I was at the tail end of editing what I thought of the script, and then said he thought it was his...
We saw this earlier. We know why Tag had it. We know why Tag really just was tired at this point. But hey, let's see what Dire says.
Best and worst work. To this day, I have no clue what he wanted me to say. 7:54 AM rolls around, and to move things along, I just said that it was good because why are you bringing this up now? If you're insecure about your work, then don't give it to me. Him then talking about how he just felt he was rambling in the video speaks volumes on how he was just trying to pump this out as soon as possible, coupled with not liking how he spoke in the video. Just do a retake then? If you don't have the time, delay the video a bit more, or if you just flat out don't want to, then suck it up and deal with it.
an editorial
And cuts out the part where, oh, the views. Oh man, that's a weird editorial choice, or well, not even, if we think about it. Dire doesn't edit. But hey, sounds cool in the title, I guess.
disagreement is not an example of abuse, and frankly, many of these simply come across as
Dire. I don't think Tag has ever... Where did the abuse thing come from? Oh yeah, strawman. I forgot.
Attempt by Tag to make personal attacks and mock me, rather than actually presenting more legitimate criticism.
He's been presenting pretty good criticism until now, so I don't know what video you've seen, but hey, I guess being a rubber duck means you have pretty shitty eyes.
At the beginning of his video, Tag attempts to present the whole thing as a calm warning to his community.
It generally is. He manages to stay calm for most of the video. Just the messages to Dire and Yagsterr are really more emotionally charged, which they have every right to be.
However, from the clips you've already seen at the start, this is obviously not the case.
No, Dire, you're just pulling shit. Like, how haven't we reached the core yet? How many graves have you dug by now? You're just lying.
Tag is not only very happy to shout abuse,
Is wanting some fucking respect!
Wanting some fucking respect? Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. Be a shame if I pulled up the whole context here.
Response was. Was it one of hope? Or perhaps Yag had tried to talk to Dire and Dire just never saw reason? No. This is what Yag had to say about Ghost's concerns and my mistreatment. Grumpy, can I be real with you for a sec? Yag said. Yeah, said Ghost. I don't think Dire hates you and Tag or anything of the sort, really. I feel like this is a bit of a one-sided beef on you guys' end, Yag said. I beg to differ, to be honest, responded Ghost. Why exactly? Asked Yag. Ghost said, We've literally never gotten along, Yag. He ignores literally everything me and him produce, in turn only ever mentioning British drones. And just generally, the way he's been acting. Go on, Yag prompted. We've been over that, responded Ghost. It seems Dire wasn't the only person to completely dismiss basic human decency. Interestingly, a few months ago, Ghost said to me that Dire told Ghost while in a call with them that he wanted them to apologize for him. He sent to my best friend as a messenger to apologize for his actions, admitting he was in the wrong, but just couldn't say it to me directly. I find it disgusting. One-sided beef was the conclusion they came to about everything that was going on at the time and did ever after. So let me see if I've got this straight, alright? So unfair crunch time is one-sided beef. Taking a short time away from editing due to being sick is one-sided beef, is it? Okay. Checking on my partner at the time because of an overwhelming amount of stress, is that one-sided beef? Well, okay, if that's a one-sided beef, then can you answer me this, boys? Is wanting some fucking respect one-sided beef? Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you! New Year's Eve 20...
Valid crash out. Gotta say, valid crash out. But hey, you could also just present it in another way, which Dire seems to have done. But hey.
One-sided beef! Who the fuck?
He also added that. That's quite, inconsiderate.
Wanting some fucking respect! One-sided beef! Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you!
he is also very happy to send me threats.
I hate you. I really do.
That's from his, responds my guy. He clearly told he had enough of you, but hey, hateful messages. Yeah, Dire. You're the victim here, obviously.
I hate you, Dire. Everything about you. And I guarantee this piece of shit attitude of yours would not persist if I ever met you in person.
Immediately after he threatens me, he
Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted.
also adds this.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I said that because it reminded me. What was with the whole fucking thing of, like, That one time you paid me for a video commission on PayPal and it was on your personal account, and it showed your home address, and for some reason, you felt the need to say, well, don't say shit.
Never mind the fact that
We know the entire context of that. We know how it happened. Let's see what Dire is trying to frame this as now.
once again he assumes the worst intentions from me. Clearly I am right to be worried about being doxxed, considering the fact he has personal information about me, he's in the same country as me, and despite his complaints about it, I actually know very little about him.
Dire, you did that to yourself. You doxed yourself. Tag has no intention of doxing you because he actually is someone you can be around. And yeah, I guess you just have to convince yourself by now. Because, yeah, I mean, we could just roll the entire clip again, but hey, I've said it before. I feel like if I have to make the same point like 3 times, it's pretty solid.
All I've seen from him is sending threats to people, so I feel I am right to be concerned about how
That is something he did not do. The person he angrily lashed out at was the person that also paragraphed his partner. But hey, Tag's apparently just an angry guy. Okay, Dire.
how far he's willing to go, and frankly I have no idea. Tag also claimed that he doesn't want anyone to harass me as a response to his video, but at the very end of his video he also says this.
This video was a warning.
This video was a warning because
25. It was around the midnight hour. I had prepared 2 voice messages. I don't want to hear that you've given anyone shit for this. At all. Because I know that some of this does correlate back to someone like Ghost, for example. Do not give Ghost any shit for this. Because quite frankly, you've put them through it fucking enough! This video was a warning. A warning to those who have not yet been affected by the Dire Duck. Should you be in a space where he can access you through, remove him or yourself immediately. There are more victims who have been affected beyond and far greater than myself. Should they choose to come forward about their own experiences, please listen and be respectful to them. Should they not, please do not pry. They've been through enough as it is. Unless Dire attempts to sweep this under the rug, this will be my only contribution to this subject. Thank you. Happy New Year!
okay, that's the whole context of that. But hey, you could just frame it like, oh, no, Tag is attacking me, blah, 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 blah. I am the Dire Duck.
A warning to those who have not yet been affected by the Dire Duck. Should you be in a
Like, honestly, warning them of Dire, yeah, that's just good job, man. If Dire is a terrible person to work with, yeah, more people shouldn't have to go through that.
space where he can access you through, remove him or yourself immediately.
This is good. He's warning people. The fact you don't like that Dire should tell people a lot about you. Because, hey, please don't criticize me. It will ruin my reputation. I won't be able to hire any more people then.
This is not someone who is calmly presenting their negative experience.
Oh man, he was calmly presenting. But hey, just live in that dream world you've been building for yourself.
They had with me, but instead someone looking to have me socially cut off and ostracized by the community. Again, he
Even if that happens, that'd be fair. You're a fucking dick.
literally calls for me to be removed from every server and
That is not what he says. He just warns the people and tells them that they can end contact with you if they don't want to go through the same shit he did. But hey, maybe your ears just don't work that well.
project that I am in currently. While I obviously disagree strongly with a lot of the points that Tag has made in his
You only really do that because they paint you in the light that you are in quite bad.
video, there are some parts where he don't bring up some valid points, so I will address these points now. As he mentions in the video, Tag brings up an incident in which payment for a video was received 11 minutes after the upload. This was a failure on my part, and payment/credit should be given before the upload. Another point was clarity of deadlines.
Once again, from before, dear God, he's admitting to way, he's not admitting to enough here. He didn't only fuck up the payment, scheduling, not only that, we've been through this. I don't think you're admitting to enough here.
And revision expectations. Ultimately, I think these could have been written down or confirmed back when the work started, which we should have communicated between ourselves to prevent this.
We should have communicated. You hired him.
So I will take my share of the blame for this, as I definitely
Not your share. You are to blame.
should have communicated better and organized things better with Tag and agreed to
Yeah, you're just a terrible employer.
things before pushing forward with the work. This is my fault and I accept that. I also acknowledge that sometimes I can send messages that can be taken in the opposite way to how
So this is all he admits to. Where he... This is all the things he claims he agrees with that Tag says. You have only the payment thing. Oh my fucking God. That's, yeah, honestly, I am in awe on how much you managed to just dig yourself.
I intended them to be taken. This also applies to the things that I say in VCs as well. The "when will you return to things" message in particular could have definitely been phrased more sympathetically and better on my end. Up until this point, you may be under the impression that I never ended up trying to apologize for the few
So, Tag already mentioned it, but that's the call. Yeah.
but very real mistakes
Tag mentioned where you rather talk to Ghost than, well, to Tag. Which, I mean, you mentioned... Wait. I don't know if you're still gonna mention it, but hey, let's just continue.
that I made with Tag. Not only is this false, I have good reason to believe that Tag has intentionally obscured this in his video.
Ghost said to me that Dire told Ghost while in a call with them that he wanted them to apologize for him. He sent my best friend as a messenger to apologize for his actions, admitting he was in the wrong, but just couldn't say it to me directly. I find it disgusting. One-sided beef was the conclusion they came to about everything that was going on at the time and did ever after.
Tag asserts in this video that I tried to instead send Grumpy Goat, his friend, to apologize on my behalf because I was too lazy, callous, and cowardly.
Dire, that's not... I mean, at least don't let him speak if you're trying to lie. But hey, look, you could say that... You could say that Tag and Ghost, rather sorting it out with Yag, is... They... Oh yeah, wait. Look, just because Tag and Ghost sorted it out with Yag because they honestly didn't trust you. Wait. I have a good... Let's just use the old recording for that.
To do it myself. I reject this accusation, and to
You have no right to do that, and also you...
And they came to about everything that was going on at the time and did ever after.
Tag asserts in this video that I tried to instead send Grumpy Goat, his friend, to apologize on my behalf because I was too lazy, callous, and cowardly to do it myself.
Yeah, I just want to say... the balls to do this quite, wow.
I reject this accusation.
You have no right to, because, Dire, you're in the wrong here.
And to prove it, I actually possess a clip of the exchange.
A clip, a very long recording of a call you and Grumpy and another person had. That call was already mentioned by Tag, and, well, yeah.
Between me and Grumpy Ghost that led to this whole situation. It is a long one, but I feel it must be played in full to give you the full context of it.
Before we do that,
I'm not taking this into nuts.
Dire appreciates the statement and hopes he'll be approved and maybe newer videos will turn things around. Then says that considering slop channels get tons of views online and offline, not having any... I didn't like Dire's priorities and lack of consideration at that point. Obviously being my best friend, I vented my frustration. He responds asking if I'm not interested, to which I said
we need to watch this part before. It's gonna make sense, believe me.
no and hope he understands. For a month, I pondered about everything I had endured up to that point, trying to make sense of it. Reaching the end of December, I did. Between Christmas and New Year's of 2025, my blood had been boiling from everything I had been through with Dire, as well as a lot of other unnecessary crap he had put my best friend through, that being Grumpy Ghost. Going back to the Guinevere video's production, when I checked up on my partner at the time because of an angry Glitch fan stressing him out, I didn't like Dire's priorities and lack of consideration at that point. Obviously being my best friend, I vented my frustrations to Ghost, and we thought the best person to go to would be Yagsterr, another Glitch Productions themed YouTuber, who seemed to be closest to Dire. Ghost was also having issues of their own with Dire at the time too, so it would help if we could get into a call together.
So, yeah, this makes sense. I mean, Yagsterr is Dire's friend. Both Ghost and Tag don't really have that good of a relationship with Dire at that point. Yeah, you reaching out to someone else that's a friend of the person you are having problems with, that's the better option here.
Side note though, Grumpy's issues are ones that I shall not speak of, as they are concerns of Ghost, not me. Please do not go asking them about what their issues were. Around March or April, we got the opportunity to speak to Yag in a group call, and after relaying our problems, I requested maybe he could try to get through to Dire, as I already had so much stressing me out at the time, and I'll admit, was kind of scared of everything going on enough as it was. Thankfully, before leaving, he said he'd speak to Dire for us. Yag never reported back. Dire's mistreatment continued. I couldn't understand. Was I in the wrong? Were there flaws in my concerns? Was I being selfish? Later down the road, I got my answer from Ghost. A response did come through, but only in the private DMs between them and Yag. Why only Ghost? Why didn't Yag ever say anything back to me? I'm sure you're wondering what the response was. Was it one of hope? Or perhaps Yag had tried to talk to Dire and Dire just never saw reason? No. This is what Yag had to say about Ghost's concerns and my mistreatment. Grumpy, can I be real with you for a sec? Yag said. Yeah, said Ghost.
This is how we arrived at one-sided beef. This is why... You know, just imagine, even the person you talk to is already so believing in their good friend Dire that no, what are you guys been having with Dire? That must be a one-sided beef. Yeah, honestly, fuck you, Yag. This is shit. Shitty behavior from you, from Dire, and, well, from your associates who keep commenting on their videos and just glazing you. Because, well, your egos are so precious and they must be protected at every cost.
Events now. Like, because I'm personally a believer in just, like, talking things out. It's why I've tried to reach out to you through other people before, but
I know
that you didn't want to talk. So, if you have anything you want to air out now, please do so.
I'm gonna try to make the captions a bit bigger. so we can actually speed this up.
I want to hear it.
I'm okay. So, like, of course, as we've been speaking, a lot of it's been, like, of course, you can't take my word, and I understand that because
I'm not saying I
harmless
trust you
and
completely, but like I'm
exactly.
Yeah, I am suspect. But go on, please.
Of course, there've been little pieces of sort of angry moments in there, and in the heat of the moment stuff, of course. But actually talking, and like in the present, I'm talking like right now.
Yeah.
Now that we're actually talking, and we're clearing things up, I'm starting to understand where you're coming from, of course, because that's pretty important.
Okay.
Don't necessarily have any issues with you as of now. Just now that you're actually talking to me about these things, and yeah, you know what I mean.
Right. Okay.
So already it seems to be framed in a light where Dire comes off as, well, you don't seem to be that unreasonable. I'd say it could have been cut a bit out of context, but hey, I'm just gonna try to believe what happens here to not have been manipulated in any way, shape, or form.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that believes that if you have a problem, just generally, like you think, oh, I'm unhappy with, I feel unhappy how I've been treated, blah blah blah. I'm the kind of person that believes that you should just talk about it to the person immediately. Like, if you have a problem,
Yeah, sure. You definitely say that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't believe that, Dire.
with me
Yeah.
about something, I would prefer to get applied to him. Say, hey man, I feel like you weren't very nice to me back then. Or blah, blah, I feel like what you said was hurtful. Or I don't like. Or yeah, I just prefer to be told.
We've been through
Personally,
that. We've been through that, of course.
Yeah, I would just say so. Like, obviously now and obviously in the future, if you have a problem, please just let me know. I'm happy to talk it out with you. Have a civil
Yeah,
discussion.
of course,
Like,
of course.
I will be more offended if you don't do that. If you don't let me know you have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have nothing now, is there anything in the past you'd like to get answers from, generally? Even if you let it go or anything else, anything you want answers from me, just generally. Because like, I want to give you the opportunity to talk it all out now. Like, I've been told you have
So they seem to be talking about problems between Ghost and Dire here, not really about Tag. Like, this doesn't read like, oh, let's solve Tag's problems with me, the Dire Duck. That reads as, oh, Ghost, let's clear things up. I'm sure you'll be more sympathetic to me then.
had a lot of problems in the past. Personally, I won't lie, I thought they've all been very minor and silly. Like, the only thing that I felt you really had water was...
That is crazy. If it's referring to Tag, if it's something that's just between Ghost and Dire, okay, but this is being framed as if it's something about Tag.
the tag thing, which I fully agree. I didn't act very well there. I will fully agree with that.
Yeah, there seems to be problems between Ghost and Dire, so it's just manipulative. Like, you framed it like this was also solving problems between Tag and you, Dire, but no, it doesn't seem like that's really the case.
I'm glad that you can. I'm glad you can admit where you've done wrong.
Yeah, because I got informed about
Whereas...
that. I thought, oh, look back at my DMs, like, oh shit, yeah, fuck, I wasn't an asshole, wasn't I? Because I think the big thing was like, Tag was expressing like how Tag was expressing that they were struggling with something at the time. And I think if I remember correctly, I just like asked, oh, do you think it will impact the project thing?
Ignored the captions. I'm pretty sure we can understand what he's saying. Dire. It's not really looking good for you. You're admitting to something, saying, oh, I must have done something wrong. This was a bit inconsiderate. But yeah, you don't mention the real problems we are having, right?
I didn't show any concern at all. I look back at that and was like, fuck me, I look like an asshole, don't I?
You only say that to Ghost because you want to look better in their eyes. That's, I'd say you're just trying to convince Ghost that you are such a approachable, such a nice guy.
Because I basically blew off there, like, oh, I'm struggling, man, mentally. It's like, oh, well, will it impact the delivery of my video? Like, yeah, no, that was out of order. Like, yeah,
Dire, you're only saying that because you want to make Ghost feel like you actually care. Like, shit, man. Doesn't look good for you.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking at the time. I'm gonna be honest. I shouldn't laugh. Sorry,
That's
I shouldn't laugh.
understandable.
Yeah,
It-
like the
yeah.
ta- like the t- yeah, and like another thing, like I think I accidentally forgot to credit him on one video momentarily.
I think we both know that you. Oh man, no, that's just not true at all.
And I immediately corrected it when he mentioned it. And there's one other thing I think with tag as well. Oh yeah, he over the tag thing, he increased the prices massively, and then I stopped.
Dire. He made those prices because you were inconsistent and as fuck and didn't want to pay the. You didn't really want to pay. Shit, you ignored all the crunch things, but yeah, he massively increased prices, and then I stopped working with him. Yeah, wow.
doing the things. I will say on that, I did say to Tag at the start, he was a stopgap measure. He was always supposed to be a stopgap.
No, I don't think I read that anywhere, so no. Please show evidence if you try to claim something. I mean, inserting screenshots into a recording isn't hard.
Like, and to be honest, like 50 quid per video, especially at the time where I get like 3K, I made like
The 50 quid were for a video that was presumably edit heavy, was 15 minutes long, was a video Tag had a crunch on, but yeah, just frame it like every video costed that price, but hey, yeah. For sure, he's charging too much. Yeah, no, Dire, please just shut up.
nothing. I could not sustain that, especially because I just lost my job at the time. I just got made redundant. I couldn't.
Oh my fucking god. I lost my job. I just broke up. I didn't even pick up on that last time. I just thought like, oh, you're using the I just lost my job card. I just broke up with my girlfriend?
Like, and to be honest, like 50 quid per video, especially at the time where I get like 3K, I made like nothing. I could not sustain that, especially because I just lost my job at the time. I just got made redundant. I couldn't sustain that price gap.
Wait, I need to normal speed. Did he say girlfriend?
Nah, especially because I just lost my job at the time. I just got made redundant. I couldn't.
Okay, no girlfriend here, but still. He lost his job playing the oh no, it's so sad I lost my job card. Wow.
Sustain that price gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when I had people like Natural and yeah.
Motherfucker. Natural is editing this. You are helping to spread lies. Don't you feel bad, Natural?
Gag and you know, it's less Sleepy that were willing to help me because I was helping them on things, or like Yag case he owed me favors because I commissioned him music for him and he insisted on doing that deal stuff like that. So like what again from a reasonable perspective, why would I pay 50 quid when I can get people to do it for free while I'm helping out?
Oh man. That just shows how fucking cheap you are. But hey, frame it like, well, why would I pay 50 quid if I could get it for free?
Which is like, it will help me. It was always, it was Tag, it always came across as a very strict business transaction, how he seemed to view it, which is fine. I don't knock him for that. I respect the hustle, frankly. I'm business minded. I had no problem.
Oh man, why are you trying? Oh yeah, you're trying to glaze Tag to get on a better side with Grumpy. Oh wow.
With that. But like, if you jack up the price, you got to expect people to like lose interest in you.
Motherfucker, he didn't jack up prices. He made them reasonable. Tag's prices are reasonable. Like really. If that's jacking up prices, well, Dire, you're just a really scummy fucking employer if you think that.
Your services. But In fairness, I could have said properly goodbye. I was just ghosting him.
Yeah.
That was where I.
Rather than just ghosting him. Oh, cool. So you admit that you did that.
That's where I fell out. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. There could have been something there to kind of, explain why
Yeah.
you don't want to.
If you want to pass that on to Tag, I don't know if Tag still hates me for that. Still,
I
know he did at the time, but Tag's been nice to me recently, so I'm not sure.
I think he's moved on pretty well, but I will tell him. Everything.
If you want, I'll go apologize to him in DM, to clear it up. If you want me to, or talk to him in DMs.
I can do it myself if you really want me to. I can explain everything.
So, I think I know how this here happened. So Grumpy offers this to Dire because Dire's been so nice. I think this is what Dire has been planning here with this call. But hey, just create a scenario where the possibility is there for someone else to apologize for you. Tag. Look, he didn't offer to go like, oh, I can call Tag and apologize in a call. No, he said, I can DM him. You don't apologize through text.
If you want me to go and talk to him directly, do say. I'm happy to do it.
I'll tell you. I'll go into your DMs and I'll say if he wants to talk to you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's mostly on his side. If he wants to,
happy, Yeah, please extend my apology to him sincerely. I'm definitely
Oh, look. Natural was able to blur server shit. So yeah, why wasn't that done earlier?
I think there are areas he could have communicated better himself, but there were areas where I'm very clearly in the wrong there. So I perfectly understand why he was pissed at me, and obviously because he's obviously very close friends with you, I understand why that annoyance would transfer to you. Because obviously, from your perspective, I'm screwing over I'd say your best friend. Is it fair to say your best friend?
He's my. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. You guys went to watch the Minecraft movie recently, if I remember correctly.
Sure. Why is that important here? What does the Minecraft movie have to do with all of this?
A good time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Yeah. So again, extend my apology to him. Again, if you want to talk it out,
I will.
Also, it should be noted that after record this call, as I was not comfortable having a call with Grumpy otherwise.
I need him in normal speed for this. We missed quite some shit.
Yeah, so again, extend my apology to him. Again, if you want to talk it out,
I will.
Also, it should be noted that after record this call, as I was not comfortable having a call with Grumpy otherwise, and this was agreed. The other person you can see in this call can confirm that this is true should it.
The other person in this call is someone that works for you. So no, nothing they say really matters here. But hey, makes you seem more legit, I guess. So, yeah, for sure.
Prove necessary. This call happened over a year ago, and within it I clearly laid out that I cared about what happened and was sorry for what I did, while also...
You really didn't, though? I mean, we saw what happened in the call. You didn't really do what you just said you did.
Informing Grumpy that I was happy to talk to Tag directly should Tag want me to. So for him to claim that I did not care at all is blatantly false. As for why this is a smoking gun, let me explain. Tag throughout it.
Also, did you really ask Grumpy for permission? Like, even if you did, yeah. It's still kinda, yeah. Recording, yeah, I don't know. But hey. It'd be cool if both parties record calls like this, because then you can have both perspectives, because all of a sudden you can't just cut things out, because that'd be obviously missing from the other one. But hey, that's just a crazy idea, right?
This video has paid to be as untrustworthy and unapproachable.
You are untrustworthy.
However, in the recording you just heard, Grumpy Ghost approached me with their issues and I responded calmly and fairly.
Dire, just because you're trying to act nice in a recording doesn't mean you are. You cannot disprove other points you cannot just disprove you being a dick by, well, saying, I was nice in that one call, that must mean I can't be a bad person.
It's my own fault and extending a hand of reconciliation. I am extremely glad this recording exists, because I don't think I could have stronger proof that I tagged your comment.
Yeah, no, not really strong proof, but hey, if you want to lie to yourself, do so.
Reached out, then this is proof as to how I would have acted. As I said before, this whole situation
This is proof to how I would have acted. What the fuck is that even? Why would a normal person say that?
was completely avoidable. Unlike Tag, I actually do want people to come to me when they have issues, and my actions clearly back that up. This
Motherfucker. Lay down the shovel. You are on the other side. You have dug deep enough to just go through the whole fucking planet.
is also going to show again that Tag is perfectly happy to twist my words and
You did that though. You twisted Tag's words, but hey, just blame it on Tag. Don't see any problem with that.
leave out critical details that don't suit his narrative. In his
You did that, Dire. You leave out critical information that doesn't suit your narrative. But hey, blame it on everyone else. You obviously cannot have done that. You are perfect in every way. And I swear to God, if you cut that out of context, I'm gonna fucking do everything in my right to get you to take that down.
video, Tag has this to say about it.
After sending this message through, I blocked the Dire Duck everywhere. I do not want to hear from him again.
Trying to respect boundaries is not.
Dire, you talking about boundaries is funny. You don't respect them, so why should you be the one to say, hey, that's mean, please don't do that. I am the Dire Duck. I am a fucking crybaby that can't handle being called out for something they did, because, oh man, people realized you were a fucking shitty person. Oh no, that can't get out.
Cowardice. He was told that
You're a fucking coward, Dire. You're a fucking coward. And the people who are currently trying to defend you, not your viewers, the people that work for you, those people are so fucking spineless. Like, honestly, I don't know how you can sleep at night, natural.
if he wanted a direct apology from me, then all he'd have to do is approach me and I would happily give him one. Never mind the fact that in his video, he failed to mention exactly what the apology was for, likely because it would have undermined many of his other complaints. Once again, he expects me to effectively.
Dire, please just shut up. I'm tired. We've been looking at you for 2.5 hours. Your video is not even half an hour long. If I didn't have shit to say, the video wouldn't be this long.
Read his mind. I know he wants me to apologize directly to him, but from my perspective, there was a very good chance that he just wanted to be left alone. And it
Dire, what did you say about mind reading again? If you're just assuming that other people obviously act the way you think they do, well, oh, fuck it. Why even? I don't have to say more here, right?
his silence in this whole situation seemed to confirm that.
Dire, stop digging.
In conclusion, while I do think that Tag does have some valid complaints about
He has many valid complaints. Wow. Why can't you see that you fucked up?
my behavior, he's also spread outright falsehood everywhere
Really, he didn't really do that.
else in his video. I believe Tag has often assigned extreme malice to my actions where there was none,
No, Dire, you just suck as a person.
and expected me to effectively read his mind to know
Dire, what the fuck have you been doing the last few minutes? Oh yeah, reading people's mind and assuming that's what they must be thinking. Oh man. Please. Just shut up.
when he has a problem rather than just outright communicating with me. Tag is clearly someone who hasn't liked me for a very, very long time.
Oh man. I mean, he has solid reasons for that. What, like, honestly, not liking the Dire Duck after what he's done, yeah, I'd say that's valid.
Both for a few valid and also many unhinged reasons.
Unhinged reasons? You just say not really valid or unvalid reasons, but no, unhinged? Why are you trying to frame all of this like you're the good guy here?
Frankly, given his erratic and threatening behaviour, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the only person who feels this way. And
Dire, please, shut up. Please, just shut up.
anyway, I'm hoping this puts this whole situation to bed. If you have any questions, please...
Oh, it definitely won't. Even if this takes weeks to edit down, I am so ready for you to finally get what is coming for you. I am so ready for all the other people you've mistreated to finally speak up.
Please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer where I can. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my side of the story in this whole affair, and sticking around to the end of the video. I know I'm not a perfect individual, and I know I've made many mistakes, and I'm sure I've upset other people in the same way I upset Tag without realizing it. And to those people, I say sorry. I am a human like everybody else who makes mistakes. I am not infallible.
That's the most... I am politician man. I apologize. I am now free of any consequence. Response I've ever heard.
I will certainly be reflecting on how I could better communicate with people in the future to hopefully avoid instances like this happening again.
No, you probably won't. And also... What the fuck? Man, your use of vocabulary is just weird. Like, do you want to present yourself as something better, or why do you have to use, oh well, I use these words to sense matter, well, blah 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 blah, I am the Dire Duck.
Though, I do kindly ask the community to also reflect on their own actions.
Oh yeah, ask the others. Because, well, it can't just only be my fault. Other people must be at fault too. If I didn't know, I'd say you're at least egotistical, at worst a fucking narcissist. But hey, you're the Dire Duck.
And many other people in the community are not infallible either, and have made many mistakes, far greater than mine, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, the other people have done much worse things than you. Of course. Yeah, no. At this point, you can probably realize I'm beyond tired.
I also like to remind everyone in the community to not simply just believe the rumours you hear when you first hear them, as there are often two sides to every single story, and you should...
He says that, and, well, you've seen both sides. I think Tag one is a bit more believable than Dire's one, but hey, Dire probably doesn't believe that, so... oh, shit.
Reserve your judgment till you get both of those sides of the story. Again, thank you to all...
Now you have both sides, and Dire still looks like a fucking asshole. And bad boss, and someone you really wouldn't want to work with.
All those who have stuck around to the end of the video. And just to be absolutely clear, do not go attacking or harassing Tag in any way. That is not the right thing to do.
It's pretty weird how Tag's community has managed to do so, but for some reason your community seems to be lunging around in Tag's comments and going like, well, Tag, you're obviously in the wrong. So, worked out really well with being respectful.
All I ask from Tag is that he also take the time to reflect on his own actions in the same way he is calling upon me to do so in the comment section of his video. That is all I ask him to do. I hope to resume my normal upload schedule now that...
Yeah, honestly, we need to find a way to not make that happen. This one video is going to be very big, and I do hope that at the end, Dire, well, Well, I hope I do make a good exit from the MD family Discord, which honestly, yeah, I'm ready. If you want to ban me, if you want to ban me for that, do so. But hey, you know what happens next then? If you ban people for speaking out, I'm gonna update the description of this video, and well, I'll tell the people when I get kicked out, and I'm gonna take a screenshot of the ban reason and post it in my community tab. So hey, let's see if I can exercise my right of free speech and drop this whole fucking bomb on you, or if I just immediately get banned. But hey, I'm looking forward to that.
This is all over, so look out for new videos on the way quite soon. Thank you to all those who stuck by me throughout all this. I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye bye.
Yeah, I think this is enough. As my closing statement here, please, for the love of God, don't just blindly believe people. But also, please, for the love of God, evidence. If you state something, please provide something you can use as evidence, because, well, I have to dismiss everything else, and Dire, you seem to suck at that. Alright, bye-bye. So, I'm just gonna put this at the end of the video as sort of a post, well, not, yeah, just post-credit thing, because I know it might be something they'd try to use against me, but there is one experience I've had with the server staff of the family server, which, well, I probably won't be a part of after this video, but hey, they will probably bring up that I've already gotten a warning. What they won't, or maybe will bring up, is that was because I, well, crashed out. I was just very upset at someone else. Now, why was I upset? Well, honestly, I got myself to, well, let me tell you, I basically just got myself rage baited, but yeah, I also wasn't in the best mental state back then. It's definitely gotten better since, but yeah, yeah, that's the one crash out that I definitely had, which ended with me saying I didn't want to be around that person, which was nice, and I can admit that. But yeah, that's in the past. I'm just admitting to this, not because I'm scared, really, that they are going to use it, just to say, hey, I'm open with this. I made that mistake once. I won't make it again. The person that crashed out back then isn't the person I am now. I've changed for the better. So yeah, I hope we can at least agree on that, or I don't know. I hope I've made myself clear enough. Alright, this is probably gonna be the real end now. As nice as that would have been, it's sadly not the case. 'Cause someone, presumably either Dire himself or, one of his, friends, or, maybe just one of his fans decided to report Tag's video for harmful behavior. Now, I wouldn't say that that claim is really valid, because I do think we've seen how Tag behaved, and I'd say you can't really call that bad, right? But yeah, that's just how it is, and incredibly sad, because that could have been a way worse hit to Tag than it turned out to be. Now, Tag himself told me he's fine. He doesn't do YouTube for the money, so it didn't impact him at all. But yeah, if that was someone else who would have actually depended on YouTube, yeah, they would have been fucked. Like, honestly. You don't report other people's videos that are clearly not in any way, shape, or form as violent as you make them up to be. Like, that's just insane. You just tried to hit someone where it could potentially hurt most, and you didn't even care. Now, we don't really know if it was Dire, one of his associates, or just some random person, but yeah, whoever did this should think about what they could have caused. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. This is everything I've been able to cover in this very long video slash reaction slash just informational piece. I could say many things now, but what I'm gonna say is I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this so other people get to know that they can in fact just speak up. So, to end this off, whoever you are and whatever Dire has done to you, or other people like Yagsterr have done to you, it's time to speak up. They cannot hurt you anymore. Or at least they won't be able to if more of you people do that. I'm just a messenger. So, just stay strong. It's gonna get better. Bye.